the stars where we rise, blazing hearts where courage lies. Yavatroopers standing tall, answering the cosmic call. In the void where echoes sing, satellites on silver wings. Destiny is found in fight. We guard the truth with all our minds. Join the core, be bold and brave. In battle bright, our path we pave. With honor fierce and fearlessly, Yavatroopers guard the galaxy. Onward up from head to toe, in nebula where legends grow. Through the stars our spirits soar, with valor ever, evermore. In the dark where shadows roam, together we will find our home. Warriors of the endless night, bonded strong in the sacred fight. Join the core, be bold and brave. In battle bright, our path we pave. With honor fierce and fearlessly, Yavatroopers guard the galaxy. Guard the galaxy. Guard the galaxy. Join the core, be bold and brave. In battle bright, our path we pave. With honor fierce and fearless glee, Yavatroopers guard the galaxy. Guard the galaxy. Guard the galaxy. Out in the stars where we rise, blazing hearts where courage lies. Yavatroopers standing tall, answering the cosmic call. In the void where echoes sing, satellites on silver wings. Destiny is found in fight. We guard the truth with all our minds. Join the core, be bold and brave. In battle bright, our path we pave. With honor fierce and fearlessly, Yavatroopers guard the galaxy. Onward up from head to toe, in nebula where legends grow. Through the stars our spirits soar, with valor ever, evermore. In the dark where shadows roam, together we will find our home. Warriors of the endless night, bonded strong in the sacred fight. Join the core, be bold and brave. In battle bright, our path we pave. With honor fierce and fearlessly, Yavatroopers guard the galaxy. Guard the galaxy. Guard the galaxy. Join the core, be bold and brave. In battle bright, our path we pave. With honor fierce and fearless glee, Yavatroopers guard the galaxy. Guard the galaxy. Guard the galaxy.
Right. Here we got what is up, everybody? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Welcome to a brand new stream where we discuss the new Jurassic World Rebirth trailer. I am joined by my buddy Saj.
How we doing? How we doing?
This has been a long time coming. We've been talking about doing a stream here for a while, discussion about Jurassic Park, and what better time to do it than Jurassic World Rebirth.
Hell yeah. Long time coming.
Oh yeah, a long time. What's up, Tim?
Oh, we got Tim in the chat.
Yeah,
What's
Tim's
up,
in the
Tim?
chat. You see the chat and everything. Got all
Yes,
that.
sir.
Sweet. Yeah, this is gonna be great. We're gonna be cutting down this trailer and everything. So let's go ahead and I think I have to pull it up.
Such a good trailer. We're getting spoiled this week. Fantastic Four, then Jurassic.
Yep. This has been like I've noticed that with a lot of people are saying like we are really getting spoiled this week.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and I'm gonna pop this over here. That way I can still see us in chat. Hopefully it doesn't pull up the background over here. It shouldn't. Go ahead and hide this. I did, didn't it? Oh no, it didn't. We're good. Okay. Now YouTube. And
YouTube being YouTube.
yeah, YouTube. All right. Where's that at? Here somewhere. This one. Background here. But yeah, I just like saw this trailer and I don't know what's in the background right now, so this is just that. Don't mind that, everybody. Just YouTube stuff. And pause that. It's a little bit bigger. And let's put us down below all this. There we go. It's Duck Station. Let's boom. Right. Oh, sweet. There we go. And maybe help us up here. Here. Bring ourselves down. So, haha. Getting better at this. I'm just figuring it out now. All right, let's get the thing going. Now, I'm not 100% sure how I'm supposed to do trailers. Do I have to like pause them every so often so I don't get
As long as you have the music off, and then play it at less than full speed.
less than
then we
full
should be
speed?
good.
Okay.
Less than, put at like 75% speed, and put the sound off. And then as long as we're pausing it like every 10-15 seconds, we'll be good. But
So,
we'll be pausing it throughout as we break it down. So
oh yes, yes. So whenever I do this, I'm just gonna have to do this whole mute thing here.
Yep.
So
I'm also a little bit delayed because I'm not seeing your screen. I'm watching via the YouTube broadcast, so I'm like 15
Okay.
seconds behind.
all right.
So if you were to share screen, would that mess up the display on the video?
I don't think so. Let me
'Cause I
go.
think that may be able to just then would be at the exact same spot.
Your video source. Station.
Perfect.
There we
I see it.
go. Wait. All right. So of course we're here at. I like that. We're here at the museum. First off. So I guess this is where they're getting ready to come in and get this guy. I think he's standing right here.
Yeah, so a little bit of background on this scene. So we're getting obviously Zora Bennett, which is ScarJo's character, Henry Loomis, who's played by Jonathan Bailey, and in this scene, he's a scientist at this museum, which is closing down their dinosaur exhibit because apparently, and this is from the article that has the plot synopsis, apparently people do not care about dinosaurs anymore because they're such a commodity after Dominion, and a lot of them around the world are dying off, and the ones that are surviving are moving towards the equator. So jumping into here, this guy Loomis is just a scientist at this museum, which the dinosaur exhibit's shutting down.
Hmm. Then go forward. Tim says, "Is that a metasaurus?"
It might be.
Yeah.
You don't see its head.
Yeah. Hey, where is its head?
Hopefully that's not Rexy.
Oh, so many people would be angry at that.
Oh my god.
The kill off,
Off-screen
yeah,
death.
off-screen death for like the most iconic dinosaur in the. Yeah. Okay, so that cuts.
You might be able to you could throw the captions on too, so because we can't hear it, but that's okay.
There we go.
They don't get mad at that.
All right, so Zora
Bingo.
Bennett is the mission specialist. So I'm assuming she's setting everything up. She's getting the band together, and then I think it's gonna show the guy here shortly, who's I guess probably funding this.
Yeah, I have his name too. I actually found it this time. So he is Martin Krebs, who's played by Rupert Friend. So that's all we know is he is funding this operation, and it's apparently this to collect these samples for a heart disease. That's supposedly what he's doing.
Okay, yeah, that's yeah. You always have this one rich benefactor, like we were discussing off here. That's like
Yep.
oh, I'm gonna do this all for the greater good and everything, but then it turns out it's not for the greater good.
Yep, always got to have that one guy.
Yeah.
In the Jurassic movies.
Yep. And I think it's about the show. Okay, this guy right here, that's Henry Loomis.
Yep.
So yeah, this is the, I guess, Dr. Grant type character.
And he actually has a connection to Dr. Grant.
Yeah.
That was revealed also that he's I think that he's gonna they don't show it, but they'll probably throw it in the Super Bowl trailer, but he apparently has a line where he talks about like making Dr. Grant proud or something like that. So we're not gonna see him probably, but we're getting a Dr. Grant reference.
Yeah, which I can see hearing about every single one from the originals is just to honor that. I guarantee we'll see something about Ian Malcolm. I guarantee we'll see his Chaos Theory book.
Yeah, yeah.
What's up, Luke? The greater good is what Luke.
Yep.
All right. So, all right. So this scene here, the one thing that I've seen everybody quote: "Don't go into the long grass."
We're going to the long grass.
Don't go into the long grass. One of the
This is
great.
some really long grass too.
Yeah. A little bit of weed whacker there, and what are the herbivores doing here? They're not doing their job.
Oh yeah. they got too much maintenance to do.
Yeah, it's probably because there's probably more of the what we're about to see are Titanosauruses,
Yep.
which is a first for the Jurassic series. A big old tail. Look at that.
Awesome to see these guys.
Look at that. Now, oh crap. There we go. Oh, okay. There we go. So these are the Titanosaurs, and I like that size is definitely. I would say a Brachiosaurus is about what, half the size of Titanosaur.
It's gonna be kind of well because we do see them at the bottom there. So putting that in scale, thinking about what a Brachiosaur would look like when we've seen him in the movies, I think maybe a little bit bigger than half, but certainly these guys are the biggest. And then you look at just the tail, look at how far away the actual dinosaur is, and the fact that the tail is coming all the way closer to the camera like that. This guy is just a tank. So even from this perspective, I think it's kind of hiding truly how big they are.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. Like they don't even need to stand. Like you look at all these trees and stuff, they don't even need to stand up on their hind legs. They're just like, oh, here's one.
And I don't know about the scientific practicality of this. So a paleontologist may chew my head off for saying this, but I did see some people talking about how these tails were almost whip-like, and it could be used as like a deterrent for like raptors or something smaller like that. So imagine a long grass scene here where they're running up on these dinosaurs and something else spooks them and comes running after them. And then you have these big whip tails. They could do something with those. But I think it's a pretty safe bet to assume that this is one of the three largest uh, animals that they're coming after.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, I know of the Titanosaurs, uh, Quetzalcoatlus, I think
Yep,
is how it's pronounced.
Quetzalcoatlus.
Yeah. See here.
And then we don't know what the third one's going to be. I think it's going to be well, actually, be probably the Mosasaurus because it's
Yeah.
sea, land, and air.
Oh yeah, and I can't wait till we get to breaking down that scene
Oh,
here.
Oh yeah,
See here, what do we got coming up here next? Okay, here's I
There
don't
we
know if
go.
this is Quetzalcoatlus.
Yep, I think it is. So just based off that size.
Right, here we go. Yep, we got back to the scenes. So one thing I've noticed, some of the people's gripes is they're worried about the comedy and stuff, and I'm like, we can see how that goes, because as long as they do it the right way and they're not fully, I guess, is some I've heard was Marvelized comedy.
Yeah.
That's one that I've seen people saying. So they do a lot of different quirks in this, I guess, each other.
Yeah.
So
It didn't really stick out to me that much or bother me really. But I think that's definitely because based off the tone of the rest of the trailer, which we'll get into, it definitely seems like you're obviously going to have comedy in a Jurassic movie, but with the tone being seemingly a lot more serious, you would expect there to be more lighthearted stuff in the early parts. And of course, we do know that there is going to be a kid on the island from the family that's trapped there that gets rescued, but you're going to have some lighter moments because again, it's not all adults going to see this movie. They do want kids to see this too,
Yeah.
so they can't have it be start to end completely serious, brutal, scary, all that stuff. So as long as it's not over the top, which I don't think it will be, I don't mind it.
oh yeah, same. Because kids have such a, I mean, the 1993 Jurassic Park. It does as a kid growing up, dinosaurs. You love dinosaurs. Most kids love dinosaurs. So that's another thing. Like, you want to get in dinosaurs with kids and adults. You want to get, those are your demographic that you want to get into the actual series, because like you want horror, then check out like other stuff. But like this, like you'll have the horror, but you'll have a nice balance of, okay, let's light out, like, from all the lightheartedness from Jurassic Park 1, you had where it got dark, but then you had a little bit of, let's play some jokes, like Alan Grant with Tim and Lex at the perimeter fence. Like that kind of, oh, did I lose? Oh, right in. Make sure, one thing. 1 sec. Did I lose you? Oh, sure. How did that go?
Hello.
Yeah, he just disappeared on the screen, I noticed.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right,
yeah,
all right.
for some I got to make sure I keep an eye on that. But yeah, you had that lightheartedness from that scene where, even though there was a lot of death going on and craziness, you had Alan Grant kind of, hey, we got to keep these kids too where they're not afraid. You have the kids start panicking, then so that lightheartedness in here, I think it works. Even with Dominion and stuff, there was jokes in it, but it still didn't feel like it was okay.
Yeah.
Get on with it.
I
So
completely agree. Like, out of all my problems with Dominion, I don't think like the jokes were at the top of the list. It had more to do with like the story and what they chose to do.
Yeah,
So-
story side. Let's put the dinosaurs on the side and focus on this, and then the two separate stories and stuff. It just was all over the
bugs and
place.
the side missions and all that.
Yeah. All right, so let's see what we give. So I think right there, let me go ahead and back it up again. Turn caption on. So this is where he's like, more or less about, I think it was, there could be,
Keep you safe. I'll get you out of there more or less.
Yeah, here, I can guarantee your safety. And then she goes, more. I mean, more or less.
Yeah.
More or less. Well, that's everybody. Like, I think that's the most realistic way to react to that. You want realistic comedy because everybody, you can relate to that kind of stuff here. So.
Yep.
All right, so here is where
just
we're.
a beautiful shot too.
Yeah.
Even though it's just like a quick shot of that, that's just a great looking shot with the color.
So here we got. This is where we're meeting up. I'm assuming with Mahershala.
Yeah,
Mahershala.
Duncan Kincaid.
So this is Duncan Kincaid, and this is the.
He's
logistics.
He's from the way she describes him, because we don't really get a label for him. We get like we'll see in the caption. She pretty much describes him as like a smuggler who will do people, will do goods, he'll do whatever. So he's your do it all guy.
Okay, so this. All right, yeah. So this is like the game warden, like Roland Tembo, Robert Muldoon style character here. But of course, Mahershala. Ali, I'm gonna get that wrong every time. But Mahershala Ali here looks like this is gonna be more of the friendly like take on this style character. And it's kind of cool. It's not always just a series, but we also got that kind of out of Roland Tembo. Some of the stuff that he's done, like the deleted scene with him and everything, and how he is just respectful.
Yes,
that's what we're seeing. I feel like that's kind of what we're going to see here too. Respectful.
Yeah, and I think it'll be something where very similar to Roland, where obviously Roland was getting paid to do something, but he had his own personal mission of taking down the T-Rex because he was a big game hunter. He had the thing he was trying to do. And I think that it'll be kind of similar with Duncan over here, where Duncan will probably not be like a hunter guy like that, but he will be probably brought in as like their guide and the guy getting them through places. But he'll probably have also some kind of underlying motive of why he would want to be on the island.
Yeah, and I guess they go. Him and Zora go way back. They've dealt with each other in the past, and this is why she says this is the best guy in the business right now. And we got that here. It's just like look like this, like everybody else here. They're all just this guy's uptight wearing his millionaire suit or whatever.
So he's just dressed like he's got something shady going on. I mean, like everyone else is going on like a nature preserve mission, and this guy's wearing his suit to the island.
Yep. Here we go with another Zora. Okay, so with Duncan, he's able to get people in and out of places. He's just that good, being able to go through, and especially this island. Which, this is not Sorna, correct?
This is nowhere near the Cinco Muertes. This is not. Let's see if I can remember them all. We got Sorna, we got Peña, we got Matanceros, obviously Nublar. I can't remember them all.
Is it Muertes? It was Muertes was one too.
Muertes, Matanceros, Peña. It's like they were all in the Jurassic World game, but basically it's none of those. Like those are all in the same area. This is over by the equator. This is like a totally brand new separate island. And I like the shots we get of it, like the earlier in the trailer when they're on the ground looking up, and we'll get a couple more of them. It's just this massive landscape. And we also see that there's it looks like some kind of like Aztec or Native American ruins there. So there has been something going on this island. Oh, we get to see some fences here.
Yeah, like this iconic.
Yep.
This is iconic here.
What is that in the background?
Where we go? Where are we at?
I don't know if that's something that's like collapsed, or is that like just.
So this looks like it's like it looks like it's just.
That looks like a walkway now that I'm looking at, because it goes up to like the building on the side. But okay, so. But you see the way it almost looks like there's like a covering to it.
Yeah.
and I can't tell or not if there is like a fence there now, or it looks like there's not, but maybe this is like it almost reminds me of like the inside of the birdcage and JP3, like the walkways they were on.
Hmm.
I don't think this would be a birdcage, but maybe this is an above the ground walkway of behind the walls of an exhibit, because they tell us that this was not a park. This was the first InGen cloning facility. So it would make sense that you'd have enclosures built like this with buildings and walkways through them, because they're kind of monitoring the animals.
Hmm. And yeah, from what I'm understanding, that all these are ones that they couldn't really get cleared to go to the park because they were too dangerous.
Too dangerous for the park. So whatever that means, too dangerous.
So this is where Duncan's like, no one's like, because they're sitting there wondering, oh, they got like a guard maybe around this, and they're like, no, there's no need for a guard because nobody's dumb enough to go where they're going.
Yep.
So this place is that dangerous. So this is kind of bringing back the Isla Sorna vibe from 3.
For
so
sure.
Yeah, you got that restricted area. Like, can't go there. But then you got dinosaur taking tours around there. So
I do wish that I hope we get an answer as to what this. Obviously, they tell us, oh, this was an InGen facility, but I do want to know a little bit. I hope that's not it. Like, I hope they don't just say, oh, this was the first place. I hope we get like a little bit of information as why they abandoned it, like what its role played. Like, was this where they were going to start before they went to the 5 deaths and all that stuff? Because it is weird how you have this island that everyone seems to know about now. They all know, oh, this is a no-go place because it's too dangerous. They know the dinosaurs are there, and it's also, they have like the infrastructure, and there's also like native Aztec stuff. So there's a lot to uncover with this island. I'm looking forward to it.
oh yeah, it's cool to see something. We're returning back to the island vibe as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a more isolated, and you're in the dinosaurs domain, not the humans.
We're not running around in the theme park this time.
Yep. Yeah, like this island. I want to go back. So, like this island here, it gives you not only just a Sorna vibe, or it also gives like a Nublar vibe. It's just like a mix of everything.
Yeah. It's all these giant rock structures. It's very cool.
Oh yeah, like just to get to this island alone, I can see why in a later scene, like what's going down here.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so it looks like we're in the facility here.
Yep.
So let's go back a little bit. All right, this is like right inside the cloning.
So I'll point this out now. Just take note of how the glass, those orange glass looks with like the kind of like the infrastructure that's in front of it. You can see how it all looks pretty old. And so it looks all pretty old and worn down here, but as we'll see, some of these other scenes, some of the equipment looks a little bit newer. So we don't know about this, but this is where my theory is coming in a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if, although this was an InGen facility island, I wouldn't be surprised if in all the decades that have passed between the early 90s to the 2020s where we're at in this movie, or even close to 2030 probably, I wouldn't be surprised if like a Biosyn or a Manticore or something like that had come in and done stuff on this island in the meantime, which is why some of the stuff looks a little bit newer in a second.
Oh, right,
yeah,
here.
Like here, look at like okay, now look at this. Like this, I don't know. This looks a little bit newer to me. This we get our double-headed raptor right here. But like the white kind of containment thing, I don't know. I feel like this almost looks like it's in like a stasis.
Yeah, like these are right now being held.
Yeah.
And I can see what you're saying. Like this here does not give you the 93 vibe. Like if you saw this in 93, you'd see like the tubes from Jurassic Park 3, something like that. Like this here looks like, yeah, this is modern.
That looks like it's something that was put into this. Now, this I don't know about this either. Like this could be new or old. I really don't know with this,
Hmm.
but this almost looks a little bit newer too. But it's attached to the older table. I don't know though. Maybe this is. Some people were saying like the bigger head of the embryo. Maybe this is the D Rex, one of the D Rex clones, or in process, something like that. But it's way too early to even tell. I think.
All right, here we're back in
There we go,
the
loading up.
loading up. Yep, loading up in the long grass. So they're both seen. I swear I've seen this guy somewhere before. Just can't
Yeah, he
remember
does
where.
look familiar.
Yeah, I've seen this guy somewhere before. They need. That's where they say they need DNA from three of the biggest dinosaurs on the island.
Yep.
So Quetzalcoatlus. So here, I guess, is like their, because somebody said something about Indiana Jones vibes.
Yeah.
You know, this is where I think they're getting their Indiana Jones. So like here, look, yeah, this is practical. To me, this is not practical.
Yeah.
This is not practical at all.
It almost kind of gives off the idea that maybe he wasn't supposed to be coming on this journey, but he kind of tagged along or snuck his way in or something like that.
Just to make sure they're getting what they
and
need.
maybe he'll play it off like, "Oh, I was always planning on coming along," and it's you kind of get the reveal throughout the movie that he's there for something else. But I'm with you. He's not dressed for the occasion.
Oh no, not at all. He's still wearing that same thing that he left in, or
Yeah.
that he had at the diner or bar or whatever at that. What is that?
And the
Bungalow?
museum. That's
Yeah,
the
and
same
the museum.
undershirt he had
Yeah.
on at the museum too.
Yep. So this, yeah, they're talking about Quetzalcoatlus with the size of an F-17 or F-16. What they said, yeah. Yeah. So here's the
There we go with Indiana Jones.
Yep, Indiana Jones Aztec ruins, and then here they are with the, what would it be, that idol?
The golden idol.
Yes,
Yeah.
the golden idol, except it's a egg. So yeah, this thing's flying around them right now. And he's like, uh-oh.
Here we go. And look at that.
Yeah. So I don't want to spoil it because Jurassic Park. If you love Jurassic Park, check out Clayton Fiordi. But he says something about this in his breakdown of this. It's funny.
Oh, okay. I didn't even see that yet. So is it a spoiler with the plot?
No, it's more of what it looks like.
Oh.
What? Because it's a completely different design than the one in Dominion.
Yeah. This is like more of the prehistoric life design.
Yeah. So they went full detail here. They did and they were working on this during Dominion, right?
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. So apparently that they had already started with this during like when Dominion was not even out yet. So whether that's a case of they knew that Dominion wasn't going to be good, or they really were hasty to get a start to the new trilogy, all that matters is David Koepp had this idea since Lost World days. Like he's been working on this script for over 20 years.
Oh yeah, so this is because this is like all the stuff that he's been trying to do for each movie. Yeah, I remember like David Koepp. I'm so glad they got him, but for this. Yeah,
he's the one guy, because I was really down on Dominion. I really was at probably the lowest care I had for. Obviously, I'm always going to love the original Jurassic movies, and I do like Jurassic World, and I did come around a lot on Fallen Kingdom, but Dominion just really does not do it for me.
Yeah,
and seeing the way they wasted the legacy characters, after that movie, I was just like, I don't mind not seeing Jurassic for a while, but hearing Koepp, is specifically David Koepp is coming back, the original writer who has expressed how he wants to get a lot of the stuff in from the original books that he wasn't able to get into the movies. That won me over right away. And then Gareth Edwards coming on from the movies he's made, like Godzilla 2014. I do have a lot of faith in this movie now.
Yeah,
Dominion's better in the extended. I have to watch the extended cut. I do have to watch the extended cut.
Yeah, so that is one thing I will say. Dominion is better in the extended cut. So I think I have that on.
I'll throw it on tonight.
Yeah,
throw it on tonight.
Yeah, Yeah, it's definitely a lot better in the extended cut because it explains some stuff and like you're like, well, okay, why are we here? Where did we come from?
Hmm.
So
Did you watch Camp Cretaceous?
yes, I'm all actually up to date.
Yeah, okay. So I was a little worried that in Dominion they were going to bring some of the Camp Cretaceous stuff in, like the mind controlling dinosaurs and
Mm,
the robots and stuff. And I was like, please do not do that.
yeah.
And I'm glad that they did not go in that direction. And I know a lot of people were worried about like the idea that even like the old Jurassic Park 4 rumor of the human dinosaur hybrids and those types of hybrids and stuff like that. And then when people talked about this rebirth movie with like this new mutated hybrid or something like that, everyone's worried. But that's where we talked about this and we're in agreement as no, don't worry, it actually does make sense in this context. It's not going to be like another random monster dinosaur. This actually makes sense with the original lore.
Mm, yeah, like yeah, I'm so like I'm more on the lower end of I'm I I'm not like the biggest fan of the Camp Cretaceous or I think it's
Yeah,
Chaos series, the
yeah,
other one,
chaos theory.
and it's just like they have like a threat to it, but it's a I get it's like more of a kid's approach to that threat. And some stuff I'm like, holy crap, I can't believe they did that. But then I'm also like, I don't like some of this stuff that they're putting in there because it's just this isn't Jurassic. Like this to me isn't
Nope.
like Jurassic Park. So here we go.
There we
This
go.
is yeah, this part here. So this is with the D Rex. I'm
Yeah, and
assuming.
I don't know about you, but I do not think that's going to be the official name of it. That's just like the working name.
Okay. So
Because if we go back to 2014, they called the Indominus Rex the D Rex in all of the promo material leading up to the movie too, up until a couple months.
hmm,
And they actually had like this I don't know if you remember, like it was back when like Stupendous Wave was like the big Jurassic YouTuber, and he had made like a video of this where it almost looked like an Allosaurus design before they changed it, and it got officially revealed in the Lego sets to be the white Indominus Rex. But I would not be surprised if D Rex is just kind of like the placeholder name for this dinosaur because the
hmm,
Mattel leaks show Spinosaurus, T Rex, Velociraptor, but then this one it says villain dinosaur, so they're not even giving it a name, which I think is smart. Like
hmm,
hide the official name as long as you can.
yeah, and like the one thing I think with the Indominus Rex, like yeah, you saw Indominus Rex and everything, but you knew at least the base genome of it from before the movie came out was a T Rex
Yep.
because they even said it in the trailer. But this here, you're like, you have no idea what this is.
Oh yeah. And
So,
even these raptors here, I don't know what to think about these raptors because it's very deliberate that they're not showing us the raptors. Every other dinosaur we get to see,
mhm,
every other dinosaur they tease, they show us a good shot of. I guess you could say the Dilo, we don't see the front shot, but that's not really the iconic. The frills is the iconic part. But the fact that all of the dinosaur designs are kind of more paleontologically accurate, I'm very excited to see what these raptors look like because I think that they're hiding them for a reason. Or
hmm,
maybe, I mean, imagine if all of the raptors have two heads, like the one we see in that test the test tube,
hmm,
and then all the raptors are like fucked up, mutated in this island.
yeah. Like these are like these. Like, you will see a bunch of like I would say failed attempts. These
Hmm.
are we're actually seeing the failed attempts that they kind of let out, and like this is like their first. Okay, this is my first attempt at Velociraptor, and it came out with two heads. Like right,
Yep.
like the like another thing too that may I don't know if I'm hoping they go towards because we all love it is practical effects too.
Yep.
Like I don't want to like I'm hoping we don't see just a whole full on just CGI. To me, that's I know practical effects is what made Jurassic Park great and
Hmm.
what makes 1993 was it 1997 was Lost World.
I think so.
Yeah, I think
97,
yeah,
98.
and then Jurassic Park 3, how it holds up still to this day, and it didn't use near the uh CGI that what we're seeing nowadays. So
Yep.
I know that's going to be one. I think they're going to use a lot of practical effects. So like here, it kind of look like you could tell that this is CG. I don't know if yeah. So I'm curious now. I know one thing that they dare not to do is a human hybrid with a dinosaur, because whenever they announced that for the original concept of Jurassic Park 4,
Oh yeah.
so many people were like, no, no,
Yeah.
no. Let's go ahead. They're raptors.
And this is not the same scene too. So we're gonna have two raptor scenes because that's obviously inside, and this is out on. If we're assuming this is relatively the same scene as we get our first shot of the hybrid here, it looks like, and in this scene we see that they're all together, and this is the family. Let me see the name here. So Ruben Delgado, who is the name of the father, who's played by Manuel Garcia, and then his daughter, who's doesn't even have a name in the movie. She's played by Audrina Miranda, and then the mother is not listed at all. The mother is the woman we see in front of the Dilophosaurus, and then when the T Rex raises up. But my guess is that they are either they're like super super lost tourists, or they thought that this was like a fun adventure for the family and came to this island and got stuck, and then our protagonists encounter them and rescue them and take them in on their way out. Because I mean, I don't really see any. I don't see them taking them to the island. I have a feeling they're already going to be in the vicinity or at the island and are quote unquote rescued. But this scene is they're obviously at a dock, looking maybe like they're going to leave or go somewhere else. Maybe they're going back to the boat, and then our boy shows up.
Yeah, so this is the hybrid. Well, at least what we think of as hybrid. So we never know with this island.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's definitely it's because we do get confirmation. It has the four front arms, so it has these two massive arms that it's walking on, like it's walking on its knuckles. It's kind of like reminding me of like an iguanodon on its knuckles, and then it does in fact have the T Rex, the short T Rex arms on its chest, which we can see in the shot of it inside that with the human trapped in there. But here it's massive. I mean, you could see the knuckles bigger than the people.
Yeah. Yeah, you could probably say he'd probably only stand about this tall next to that thing. He's like, oh. Let's see here. So this is still that family.
Everyone just looking up at this thing. There's the little kid.
Yeah. Right here. So there. I don't know if this is going to be that same scene. This could be a different one, but but it also makes sense because it's his night. But I don't know if he's actually going to be distracting this thing at all.
Well, we do. Well, yeah. Well, there we go. Well, you do see that scene. So he is leading it off in the moment. Oh yeah, there you go. There's a flash of it.
Yep.
If you pull up the shot, the picture I sent you in Discord, I think it has the it's a little bit more focused with the HD. With the whatever this thing is going to be called, but you can immediately see there's your Rancor, there's your Xenomorph. That thing just looks like a slapped together version of it. And we don't see the front arms here, but in the other shot you could see them a little bit more clearly.
Get this over here. Oh, do you see this?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Right.
Perfect.
Yeah, right here. So we'll get
this is from give full credit to the Gaming Beaver. This is not mine. I took this from his video.
Okay.
But he probably just put this in some editing and enhanced it a little bit. So if you could zoom in, you could see the in that middle shot, you see the arms, and so those rumors are in fact true. We're gonna get a four front arms, two back legs. This thing definitely looks like a xenomorph with like the rounded dome face and the Rancor type of jaw. Now the question is it blind? Does it have vision issues? Because we don't see eyes. That's the thing that's standing out to me.
Okay, yeah. You know what this thing also reminds me of? You're familiar with Doom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pinky.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Pinky.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is
Yeah. So yeah, in the actual trailer, you really can't even see that extra pair of arms because it's like that shot is like it's foggy and you could barely see it, but there you could see it. It does in fact have the little T-Rex pincers. So we don't know what this is made of, but we know it's T-Rex and something and a bunch of other things. So we shall see.
Yeah, it's like they combine everything. Like this dome right here, plate reminds me of the Pachycephalosaurus.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even that would be even cooler if we got to see like them splice herbivores with the carnivores.
Yeah.
And because maybe this could be like kind of like a tragic creature where it's kind of, have you seen all the Alien movies?
Yeah.
So Alien, I can't remember if it's Alien 3 or Alien, whichever, Alien Resurrection.
Yeah, Resurrection.
So, yeah, so with the baby
Mm.
or the newborn. So this because like the newborn wasn't an evil xenomorph, it was just it would kill because that was its nature. And imagine if you have a creature like this where you're splicing it with like a packy, like you said, a herbivore and some carnivores, and it may not be like an evil creature. It's not going out there trying to kill things like they were describing the Giga when they were calling the Giga the Joker of the dinosaur of the Jurassic Park series. But this guy maybe is literally just this abomination that it just kills because it has to. It has to eat so much, but it's just terrorizing the wildlife on the island.
Yeah, and like the fact, like this thing definitely got bigger from this scene to this
Yeah,
scene.
that, I was thinking that, but I was kind of hesitant to say that like throughout the day because I've seen a lot as I've seen all these breakdowns talking about it. I'm like, in that scene, it does not look that big, and then when we see it step out, that thing is massive. So whether it's like just it like leaning down because it's about to eat the guy, but I imagine if this thing has like some crazy like growth accelerant and it was in stasis or something, keeping it stable.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, like I was thinking with this scene, once we'll get to
Yeah.
go ahead and pull this over here. Once we get to that scene, let's see. But no, like this here, like I could see the xenomorph and stuff on this thing, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be crazy. And
I
that,
just noticed he's in the water too. He's running around in the water. He may be screwed here.
oh yeah, yeah, he's like running down the water, a little causeway. Back to it again.
That's why I'm kind of convinced this thing is probably going to have some vision issues because it's moving very slowly. It's kind of hesitant, and the the flares would make a lot of sense in that case because if you're pretty blind and you can only kind of see shapes and shadows, a big giant light would definitely attract your attention.
Yeah, yeah, and like probably not only just a big light there, but him splashing around, and he's able to follow that,
Yep.
and that's what Duncan's doing, trying to get him to follow them away.
Oh yeah.
New era. Okay, so here, I think is crazy. I know it's not what they brought. Bigger. Slow it down slightly. So this looks like the Jeep Wranglers from
Yep.
Jurassic Park. So the fact they got another one of these things working is crazy.
We're bringing them back.
Yep. And down a nice long tunnel here. I wonder what she's shooting at. Okay.
There we go.
All right. So this scene right here, I'm just going to keep it right here. So before the stream, me and Saj were talking about this, and Saj was pointing somehow that I didn't get to see it all.
I'm taking credit for this for now because I haven't seen anybody else call it out. So I'm sure a bunch of other YouTubers talked about it, but I have not seen someone call this out. But I was looking at these shots, and if you look behind the woman there, and this woman, I'm just calling her a woman now because she's actually one of the only people I wasn't able to find the cast listing for in the actual cast. But I believe this is the mother of the family we see. If you look right behind her, you can see that grass, but you can 100% see the outline of the T-Rex's body right behind there. Yep, you're tracing it perfectly.
Yep.
And if you look even closer, like if you zoom in on your own streams when you're looking at it or looking at the trailer, you can see a little bit of the tiger stripe design on the T-Rex. So, and then the next shot we see when it's waking up, there you go.
And
But yeah, again, we were talking about this too. That's the Dominion Dilo.
Mm-hmm. Dominion Dilo, and I'm calling this right now. This is a full-size Dilo.
You know, at first I wasn't 100% sure, but now that you're saying that, I think they're doing a lot of shots in these trailers messing with the perspective. Like this person's far away, this dinosaur's here. this dinosaur is right in front of us and she's pretty far away, so they could make it look small. But again, we have not seen the big boy dilos in any of these movies yet.
Yeah, and like you can tell right here, up a hill. This is kind of down a hill.
True.
Yeah, so you can kind of see. I guess this is like looks like a boathouse.
Yeah. I was wondering what that is, but yep, there you go.
Yeah. Right there. Now I love this design for this T-Rex, by the way.
Yes.
Like this is bringing back the tiger stripes from Lost World and Jurassic Park. I think they all had tiger stripes, if I'm not mistaken, in the books.
Yep. I'm just happy that we're not getting a shrink wrapped T-Rex anymore. I love Rexy. Rexy's the OG, but she was getting a little anorexic in her old age, getting skinnier and skinnier with every movie.
Yeah.
And T-Rex was a big fat dinosaur. It was not a skinny theropod. So this is a really cool look for the T-Rex.
Oh yeah, like the eyes just like you one of the big things you notice is just how the eyes are just popping out right there.
Yep.
And of course you notice all the teeth. But
and the CG looks amazing in the mouth, like all of it. I mean, it's obviously not animatronic here, but this genuinely looks lifelike compared to some of the recent CGI, which was never horrible, but I definitely think my mind always goes back to like the nighttime scenes in the end of Jurassic World where you have like Blue and Rexy looking at each other and stuff, and that I feel like that was like the worst when it comes to the realistic look of the dinosaurs. And this is definitely bringing us back to the first three movies with like that very definitive pupil shining out, and it looks very good.
Oh yeah, I'm liking that. Like, have you ever played the game Primal Rage?
Primal Rage, that sounds very familiar. That's not a Jurassic Park game, right?
No. So this game is like a Mortal Kombat style game, but with dinosaurs and giant apes.
I just looked it up. I've seen this, but I have not played this.
Yeah, so I played it. Like this brings me to there's a yellow and purple T-Rex in that. This is what that reminds me of.
That's awesome.
Okay, so
There
here,
we go.
like part of me thinks this is a flashback, and I'm wondering if this is our boy, Mr. Trader. That
You may be on the money with this.
Yeah,
because I've been trying to put this together in my head where this would make sense, and I'm thinking like it's either they're maybe accidentally forced to release this thing from containment because he like goes in and then realizes it's in there and then is trying to come out, or it's honestly I think it's now you won me over more because I could see this being a flashback, not only because it definitely looks smaller here, like even if it's leaning down it definitely looks much smaller, but yeah, I mean, again, this facility does not look old, it doesn't look worn, it looks newer, and I can't think of a way in the movie that they'd have it where this thing would go back into a containment cell to go hunting this human, because I'm thinking it's a scenario that they accidentally released this thing that's been trapped or something like that, if it's not a flashback.
Yeah, and this is why they left. So this person, okay, I'm the last second. So this is also what is it, Edward, that the director of the Godzilla 2014. Yeah, Gareth Edwards. That kind of brings back that kind of thought too here.
So one thing that may actually throw a wrench in this plan though is this guy does kind of, we can't really see his face. I mean, you could just kind of see that it's a guy with a little bit of facial hair. It does kind of look like the actor who is playing the father of the girl. So maybe that's how they, but then again, why would he be suited up if he's just with his family? I'm kind of hesitant to believe that it's the same person, but again, that actor is a guy who has a similar skin complexion with facial hair. So it's hard to tell at this point.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can see it. Like it could, like this is where also this could be a more recent, because maybe this is what was happening, and this is whenever he's like, he sees that somebody related to this guy or this guy in particular knows him, and that's probably we'll probably see something along the lines of that.
Or maybe they're even trying to kill this thing. Like maybe this is a plan to trap it or something, and then
Mm,
it goes wrong when the guy's trying to run out of the room. He's like, let me out," and then it's too late.
yeah, yeah. Let me out, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm saving my own tail."
Yeah, and
So
I could imagine a scene going down like that where we get that guy who's like the guy we're thinking to be the human bad guy, where he traps him in there, or they have this plan, they're working together, and then it is the father who's like, "I'm gonna help, and we're gonna save my daughter. We're gonna trap this dinosaur and get out of here," and then the guy locks him in there, tries to kill the dinosaur because it almost looks like it could be a chamber that like gases could come out, or it could be something where they could kill it inside this chamber. Imagine it gets angry and then just breaks right through, and then we
oh
really see
yeah,
how strong this thing is.
yeah, and that's where that dome comes in and
Yep.
just
Oh
boom.
my god. Now you got me wanting it to be a packy because imagine
Yeah,
it like going back and running right through.
yeah. They're like, okay, let's combine this thing with a Packy, uh, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Iguanodon.
Yeah, I hope it is iguanodon because those front knuckles really do look like the straight out of dinosaur.
Mm.
Oh, but
So
here we go with
yeah,
the scene right out of the books.
yeah. This is right out of the books, and this is something like people have been wishing for. See, hopefully we can. It gets a little bit more. Okay. Oh no, I'm gonna come back to this. I'm gonna come back to that. I
Yeah.
gotta go back to this real quick. So right here is like right out of the book. Some people have been asking for this. It was originally supposed to be in the first movie.
Yep.
So there was a raft scene. So this is where Tim, Lex, and Grant are going down this Jurassic Park stream, going down this little, I guess, river or whatever, going down there and trying to avoid all the dinosaurs. Well, as they're going down, they run into a T-Rex, and it's I'm pretty sure Rexy. And at first they're trying to go down very sneaky, so this also goes with the earlier scene where we see the Rex just laying down, and this is what we see. So it also coincides with the Dilophosauruses too.
Yep.
So we're literally getting the scene from the book that everybody's been wishing for. Hey JS, what's up? How you doing?
JS.
Yeah, like just straight out of the book. And if you have not read the books for Jurassic Park, check them out. They're great reads. I think I went through them 4 or 5 times now.
Oh yeah.
So
Like they're not like the movies in the best way possible. In that both iterations are fantastic. Of
yeah,
I think the first 2 books. And in my opinion, I like the second book more than the first, but I think that there's still 2 of my favorite books ever. Like Lost World, Jurassic Park, both of them could stand toe to toe.
oh yeah,
But like you just said, this was arguably the most iconic scene for a lot of people in the first book, and I think they're just going to do it perfectly recreated, where you're going to have the Dilo probably spook the girl, and whether it's her reaction to it or the Dilo itself making noise, the T-Rex is then going to wake up and she'll probably dive right into the water and get the hell out of there.
yep.
But I'm curious, who is this? Because I'm not immediately recognizing this character.
I'm wondering if this here is going to be another flashback style too.
Yeah.
Like it'll probably be like a weekend to these people here, this family being stuck on this island.
Suit?
Looks like it.
It kind of looks like he's in a bathing suit. So you know what? Okay, now I think I figured this out. So this is probably the scene that we are introduced, or probably the scene where the family is on the island for like, we're probably gonna get introduced to them going to the island on like a vacation or some shit, and they're gonna have no idea what's going on. And then because we see the mother, and now I'm assuming this is gonna be the husband, and it looks like he's in a bathing suit from what we can see.
Now,
So I'm guessing maybe they were going for a swim, and then they get scared by the Dilo, and then the T-Rex bursts out, and now it's really all hell is breaking loose.
yeah,
And from here they'll probably drift down the river and run into our main characters on the boat before we get into maybe that next scene on the open water.
JS said, I need to read the Jurassic Park books. I literally didn't know they had a book. Same with Indiana Jones. Oh yeah, Jurassic Park and the Lost World Jurassic Park.
Yep.
Both great books.
And they're based on the novels too. The novels came out way before, and Michael Crichton, fantastic author, rest in peace.
Mhm.
He the I would say, even though I love the movies, like this is one of those rare examples where the books probably are better than the movies, just because it is everything the movies are and more. There's like so much you can do in a book, so much more, because the movie's obviously limited to runtime and all that, but the books are some of the best books you'll read, with the horror, the thriller, the chase scenes, the tension. I mean, there's so much you can get into. And one thing I like to see, if they're adapting more book scenes, and this is supposed to be the start of a new trilogy, if it's not in this movie, I'd love to see the camouflaging Carnos. But
Yes.
I will hold off on that for when we get past this movie, because there's already this. I'm not complaining at all. I'm very happy with what we got, but the fact that David Cap is hopefully back and willing to stay if this goes successfully, we could get a lot in this new trilogy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they said that they're trying to pull a lot of stuff out of the books too.
Yep.
They're not trying to do an overabundance, but they're trying to do something along the lines of taking stuff from the books.
Yep.
And like all the stuff that we love. And like there's scenes from the second book I would love to see. There's some scenes I know there's no way that they're gonna do.
Oh yeah, no.
You know which one I'm talking about. I'm not gonna spoil the book.
Although we did get what's his name? I'm gonna blank on his name, but the guy that was saving them in Lost World from the T-Rexes, he was pulling the guy that was pulling them back up, and the guy that set up the hide who went with them to the island. He was driving.
Thorn?
You know who I'm talking about?
Thorn?
Let me just. I'll just look up Lost World cast, and it'll come up immediately. Let me see.
Tembo? Tembo?
Not Tembo. It was one of his friends. It may be Eddie Carr. Eddie Carr. So Carr, I mean, his death was is pretty up there, the way he gets ripped apart by the Rexes. So honestly, if we'll see what happens with this movie, but I'm hoping if they're heading back in that category, maybe nothing's off the table.
Oh yeah. I'm all for that. Like, they can pull this off. Freaking I can't wait. Dude, they have a version of the JP books in like a classic library type style binding. Oh, nice. Which I'll grab at some point. Oh yeah. And they're great reads.
I literally have it right here. I didn't even realize I got it sitting right here. There we go. There's a Lost World.
And we gotta get you bigger.
The classic.
Yeah, there's a Lost World. Michael Crichton is great.
Yep.
Like,
you can just see how battered this book is. I have had this for a long time. I've read this a lot of times.
Oh yeah.
So
it's like,
absolute classic. I would 100% recommend to anyone who hasn't read it.
Oh, definitely, because like each and every time you pick up on something different.
Yep.
So yeah, here's a chase. Like, of course, you can see he wasn't grabbed. Like, some people are like, "Oh, he was grabbed." No, look at that. It's just like,
great
if you're trying.
Rex, though, even in those, the Rex looks great going underwater.
Oh yeah, you can see he just. Okay, so here.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so this is gonna be either some people are gonna be like, "Why?" or some people are gonna be like, "Hell yes!"
Yeah.
We got 1, we got 2, we got 3 Spinosauruses. They're like, "Hell, you want a Spinosaurus?"
Yeah, you guys have been complaining for 20 years. Here, take 3 of them.
Yeah, here's 3 of them. And not only that, they're working with a mosasaur.
Yeah, that was the kicker for me. The fact that he's like they're working together.
Yeah, and I guess this is like they're getting ready to leave. It looks like they're getting ready to leave here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that, like, they pick up the family. They're like, okay, screw this, we're done. It's time to get out of here.
Yeah, it's like we gotta get out of here. This isn't worth it. That guy was an idiot.
Yeah, and when I first saw this, I didn't even think it was a mosasaur at first, because of it is a much. Although I didn't have a problem with the mosasaurus in the Jurassic World trilogy, I much prefer this more prehistorically accurate. It's more of the sleek kind of, not the crocodilian scale skin one. And I thought for a second, I was like, is this a damn a megalodon, but then I was like, no, there's no dorsal fin, and then you see the later shot with it. But when I first saw it, I almost thought it was going to be a megalodon because of the that much of a change in the design, which I like. And then we get this.
Yep, they're helping the
Sniffing at each
mosasaur.
other.
Yep. I didn't even pick up on that one. So yeah, here's the whole thing. Yeah, and this is that's the same guy. That's yep.
And I can't really tell, but it almost looks like they're kind of still wet. So
this guy back here, huh?
Yep.
So I don't know. We're back and forth with this guy.
Yeah, he's got his power stance. He's not really worried. He's kind of he's ready for it. This is cool though. I've seen some people that are like, oh, the Mosasaurus would just eat the Spinos. I mean, this is not unprecedented. This happens in the wild all the time, where you have apex predators like working alongside inferior also predators though to help each other. I mean, this is like a lion and hyena type situation.
Right here, I can't imagine like just that. You're like, oh, okay, this is where like okay, they may not bother us. They're bothering us. To 50.
What do you think about the Spinosaurus design?
At first, I was like, "What? What is this?" Then after that, I'm like, "Okay, look at this."
Yeah,
like this is it's like it's closer to the, I guess, actual concept of the Spinosaurus.
Yeah, and it's kind of reminding me of the because Camp Cretaceous did bring back the OG Spinosaurus, but it definitely was obviously more stylized for the cartoon, and that was a stylized version of the JP3 Spino. I almost think this looks more like that stylized version.
Yeah, like this one, like this is more like this actually looks more, I guess, closer to the crocodiles or anything like that. Like
yeah,
right here.
And I think that because there's 3, we may be getting because there was multiple Spino species. There was different types with like the different size sails and the different head structures, and it does look like we may be getting a couple different variations of Spino species here. I don't think they're all going to look the same.
Yeah.
Maybe one of them will look more like the JP3, whereas this one looks more like the paleontologically accurate one.
This goes more towards the thought that I had about these are all their first attempts at each of these creatures, and each and every time they're getting more perfected after each other. And then they finally get to one like, okay, let's send it to this island, see how it acts. So this island's where they cloned them and researched them, and then the next one would have been Sorna, where they actually kind of got to study them a little bit more before they went to the park.
Hopefully they mention the amalgam testing then.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
There we go. Look at that guy.
Yeah, this is the mosasaur. This is not the same mosasaur that we've seen at all. This is the complete different mosasaur. Yep. So there's more of these things that are free to the ocean, but it decided, I'm not going to go out there.
Yeah, I'm wondering what that's going to be, because it looks like it is right open to the open water, but it's choosing to remain in the bay, unless they reveal that there is some kind of underwater barrier or something like that.
Yeah. So there's got to be like, look at this. Look at all this ambulance. Oh, yeah.
And there we have it.
Yeah, there we have it. That's a trailer right there. Like, I can't wait for this movie. Like,
yeah, I mean, and this is honestly, this is all you could ask for in a trailer.
Yeah, like right here, like these two fighting. Like, okay, they're fighting over their meal.
Yep.
So of course, like we know that this isn't Henry. We know that for a fact. This guy, he's down here. Here's Rich Boy right here. Here's the family.
The question is, who is going to die in this scene?
This scene here.
I've seen some people saying maybe this is where ScarJo goes, but I think this will still be relatively early in the movie, so I think it's probably not. Like I think this scene is probably before a lot of that other stuff with the hybrids.
Yeah, like if they like kill ScarJo right here, right in that scene, holy crap! Like this guy, I don't know. This guy's not looking too good.
Okay, so that's actually not that's a woman actually.
Oh,
That's a
that's a woman.
character we haven't even seen yet. So I think she's gonna die. Yeah, I think it'll be her. Like yeah, her over the top. This is apparently a woman, a female character that we haven't really seen
Okay.
in other shots yet.
Wow, that's
So
crazy.
I don't know if she's with the family or maybe she's just like a mercenary on Duncan's team that's with them, but
Hmm. Maybe
I would
the
assume that's who gets picked off first before probably a couple of our main protagonists go to.
maybe the captain of the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I will say though, my one prediction is Loomis and ScarJo will not both make it out. One of them will probably bite the dust.
Hmm. And it's probably gonna be like right there because that thing knocking into them like that. Once you're in, like once they're all in that water, you saw how they turn. You're done.
There's totally going to be someone that gets knocked overboard, and then the rest of them will be like scrambling to reach over the side, and then you'll just have a Spino come up and snatch them.
I think this guy's gonna bite it. Right here, he's gotta bite it.
Is that not our main bad guy still? Though?
Yeah, that's who I thought was the main. But him being here, if this is towards the end, then
yeah, if it's towards the end, I'd agree. Yeah,
yeah, he might.
But if I had to predict it, I think he will be killed by the hybrid.
Mm, yeah, because if he's the one that's in that scene, because maybe after this they have to swim back, and that's where everything goes down.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah. Like maybe that's when because they lose the boat, and then maybe they're able to call for some kind of a pickup, and that's why they're at the docks, like waiting out at the docks, and then they get ambushed.
Because like you look at these are not the dinosaurs we're used to.
No. Yeah. Like all three of their sails are different shapes too. Like when we see in the wide shot, like when they first are coming in, you can see all three of their sails, and all of them have slightly different designs and aberrations.
Right here, this kind of gives me, vibe. This gives me Jaws.
Oh yeah,
Jaws right here.
100% Jaws vibes right here.
I swear, she says, "Smile, you son of a bitch." I'm like, oh, here we go.
Or I could totally see like someone dangling off the edge, and then she hits the shot right as they're about to come up and grab them or something.
Oh. So like, it's like you said right here. This here could all be after. Like, yeah, they're after the carnivores and stuff here, but a lot of this stuff could be right after that scene. And this is how they get stranded, probably on the island.
Yeah, this is why it's actually so good, because although they show us a lot throughout the course of the movie, it is very hard to pinpoint when this is going to happen, because you would think you'd be able to kind of piece together, okay, they're going to do this first, and then we get to this, then we'll get the boat scene, then we'll get this. But the more you think about it, you're like, okay, well, how would that make sense though? Because you'd think they'd be trying to do this first or do this first. So it's kind of weird to think how this all comes into play. But if I had to guess, we'd probably get the scenes early on of them just going to the island, getting the Titanosaur, getting the Quetzalcoatlus eggs, and then I don't even know, because we were saying they're fleeing, but maybe they're going out in the boat to get the Mosasaur, but it doesn't seem like that's their objective, because they're not talking about it. They're like talking about just getting out of there. So maybe it's kind of a bait and switch. Maybe the Mosasaurus isn't even the sea creature that they're going after.
Yeah. Yeah, like, wait, I don't see them risking the life of a child.
Yeah.
Bringing them out onto that boat to be like,
exactly.
All right, we're going to go search this, get the Mosasaur, and then we're done.
And then that scene that we just went past, where ScarJo's kind of shooting in that like alleyway or underground tunnel or whatever. Maybe do we see what they're wearing in that scene? Because are they wearing those suits that they were wearing? No, it doesn't look like anyone's wearing any. Because I was thinking maybe this is the facility that they're in where they release the hybrid, where we see them in those hazmat suits. But now I'm pretty convinced now that I think it is going to be a flashback scene, like you said, because I don't see where those suits. Yeah, right here. I don't see where these suits would come into play. Like, what would they even be doing in this indoor facility if
Yeah.
it's not specifically having to do with our bad guy trying to come for this thing?
Mm. Yeah, like the whole reason he came here was for this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's just using the idea of going after the other dinosaurs as like a means to get here with the
Yeah.
other guys. But this scene is definitely it makes you scratch your brain a little bit because the size of this guy, the context of the situation, it's not really it's kind of hard to predict this one.
Yeah, definitely. Like, this could be a flashback. This could be in the four. Because the facility still has power to it. Like,
Yeah, you know what? You've won me over with that. I'm thinking that's a flashback at this point.
and right here, this could be right after what happened on that boat, too.
Yeah.
So maybe they got on a raft or something, and they were working their way down here. Well, they were getting ready to run out of gas. They're like, okay, let's go this way, and then we run into this guy. Rancorsaurus question?
Rancorsaur.
Rancorsaurus.
I'm wondering what they're going to call this thing, though.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm very excited to see what the hell they put, what DNA this thing is made of.
Yeah, because it does. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's like one or two.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail though on the head with it's probably going to be a packy to get that dome. Or what was the other one? The one in Dominion that's like the smaller pack. I think it's Stygimoloch.
Yeah, Stygimoloch. So,
whether it's one of those or I don't know. It's just the fact they revealed the dinosaur to us or the creature to us. The two scenes we see of it, it's moving slowly and it's not like seeming to be fast or aggressive. It seems like it's like this lumbering creature. Even when it's and I think Gaming Beaver pointed this out on the shot where we're seeing it in that red room. It's kind of like coming up on the guy slowly. It's not like going right in to attack him because it may not be able to really see him too well because you just see all this red and like this shadow in front of you and it's kind of slowly coming up on the guy. But yeah, I don't know. There's something off with that scale.
Yeah, there's something off because we won't find out until July 2nd.
Yeah. But then also the other question would be, it definitely is not trapped in there because then it would die. It would starve.
Yeah.
So unless it's like a situation where those rooms are like literally cryo chambers where everything's like frozen in place there, and then they activate it.
Yeah.
Like that raptor.
Yeah, and then as soon as it gets out, it's gonna get out because that dome tells me everything. That's how that thing's getting out of there.
Oh yeah. But you know, I'm kind of winning over to this as I think about it because if it was broken out the entire time, it'd probably be killing everything on the island.
Yeah,
there probably would not be flourishing dinosaur populations.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like look what happened with the Indominus. Its one sole purpose was to wipe out pretty much everything to build itself up to the top of the food chain. Got hey, Wamposaurus. You want a Wamposaurus? Yeah, Jawa. Monroe, you get out of here. Monroe always screwing with me with Jawas all the time.
Honestly, they may have a Wamposaurus locked up behind the Rancorsaur.
Yeah, the Rancorsaur, Wamposaur, Jawasaurs.
What if they called it the Ultimasaurus?
Oh, Ultimasaurus. It's a combination of almost like every dinosaur ever.
Because I think that was David Kep's. I think he was the one that originally came up with that idea for the one of the original sequels, where it was. I know he came up with the like the juiced up raptors. I forget what the name of them were, but like the hybrid raptors, the original hybrid raptor idea, like the super raptors. That's what it was. He created the idea of like the super raptors, which they kind of adapted and made the Atrociraptors kind of what the super raptors were going to be. And that was all David Kep's idea. And he had the idea for the Ultimasaurus way back in the day, which was like a mix of the T-Rex, the Giga, the Spot, all these things. So it would be pretty. I know some people may be upset because obviously it's not going to look the same. It's not technically the same thing, but maybe that's why they're being so secretive with the name, is because they're paying homage to the Ultimasaurus.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like David Kep he wants everything and everything that he's had ideas for in these movies. He's like, want this. And what's cool is Spielberg, everybody's behind this. This is
Yep.
not just hey, we're just no, they got everybody behind this.
Yep.
Ross says, I hope this movie is a step towards the first 3 films, some suspense, little blood, less Disney-ish. No, I like
think
that.
you're going to get everything you
Yeah.
want and more.
Yes.
I think they're going to show us that this is one of the first major franchises that really listen to the audience feedback, because from what we see, unless this is a really good lying trailer where they're teasing us with everything that's not going to be, it's kind of hard for this movie to fail now with what they're setting up. And again, it could be awful. I mean, I don't think it is though. Like, my truest convictions, I think that they are in the right direction, and it's going to be very similar to the vibes of 1 through 3, and certainly more brutal. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
they've said multiple times there's not a single script where every character makes it out alive. So we will be seeing plenty. And notice who's not in this scene. Notice what character's not in this scene. Where's Duncan?
Yeah, Duncan's not in this at all. And like, who knows? Yeah. So
Unless he's driving the boat.
Yeah, unless he's driving the boat or he ends up pulling a Billy.
Yeah. Could have a situation like that where they split up or something like that, and you have I kind of hope that's not how they ended, but like they have them split up, and then you have like the cavalry shows up at the end. But I don't know how this will end, because it's going to leave it open ended for the future, because this is supposedly the start of a new trilogy.
Yeah. And I never expected. I thought they were done. I thought they were done with the movies, and I'm like, oh darn, I love Jurassic. So,
Yeah, I was a little worried after Dominion, but the fact it still made money. It did not make what they wanted it to, but it did still make money. So the fact that I'm very happy. I love Jurassic. I love all these other stuff. Like we love Star Wars. I don't know how much you like Transformers, but we have all these other things that these other IPs that all of us, it goes beyond that we like. But a lot of them have really not been able to overcome a lot of these issues. But Jurassic, again, has had a lot of those same issues with their sequels, but it looks like they're going to be the first to really right the ship, literally. And because we see a ship almost get knocked over, but metaphorically, they're going to right the ship here, and they're getting back on track. And I think David Koepp is the one that deserves all the thanks for that.
Oh yeah, like the second they announced David Koepp was coming back, you're like, I'm in. Here, take my money. Because this is what, like, you're going in a different direction, because it's doing its own. To me, this movie's doing its own thing. We're going back to the island setting, but there's there could be a very good reason for them to go to this island. This is we're gonna trick Dr. Grant. Like, I still love that movie, but we're gonna trick Dr. Grant to go to this island to get her, even though there's like Ian Malcolm out there that's been to this island. You got what was his name in Lost World, what was his name? Earth First guy.
Oh my God. Everyone knows who we're talking about.
Yeah, everybody knows who we're talking about.
The moral of the story, the Kirbys had plenty of options. They went and got the one guy who didn't actually go to the island.
Didn't he go to the island? You went to that island with the dinosaurs. Like, this isn't the same damn island. Wrong one. Did you see the movies?
Oh, he said, someone in chat said, no Chris Pratt. Why? Because this kind of is this kind of a reboot or rebirth? Yes, literally.
Yeah, it's a rebirth.
It's a soft reboot. And we were kind of talking about this earlier, but it may not have always been that way. The character Kayla Watts from Dominion, who was the pilot kind of mercenary kind of character that was helping them, smuggler, she may have intended to be Scarlett Johansson in this movie, because the characters are pretty much described as very similar, almost exactly the same. The only difference is they're taking a boat rather than flying here. And if Dominion was successful, I would not have been surprised if they pulled that one character and because she didn't really have a big role. She was kind of introduced towards the end and she was cool. I mean, there wasn't any problem with her. She didn't really do much. But
Hmm.
if that movie was successful, she probably would have been the carryover to this movie as one of the main characters, helping set up to remain, to have a connection to the trilogy or to the saga now, but still branch it off into a new trilogy.
Vince Vaughn, yes.
Vince Vaughn, yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. I don't know how we could forget a name
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
with an actor like that. But
Yeah. I'm usually
yeah,
pretty
you
good
have,
at it.
your options.
I wasn't on top of it this one. I haven't been on top of that for a while. Vince Vaughn, what was his character in that though?
He was like he worked for Malcolm. He was one of like he was the specialist in like the equipment they had.
Yeah. Yeah, he was sent more for Hammond because Hammond's like he knew that these people were coming and
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, he like that's something like he just disappeared. Never to be seen again.
He is one of the Jurassic Park characters, though. I would not mind seeing him come back.
Yeah.
Speaking of characters coming back, though, have you seen people are saying that maybe Dr. Loomis is like Tim grown up?
Yeah, I've seen that one. I've seen that one. That was one of the ideas that I've seen. Nick Van Owen, thank you. He Googled it. Yeah. You Googled it. Thank you, Raw.
Nick Van Owen.
Yeah. He was great.
I would not. I don't want to say I don't want, because I'd be fine with some references, but I would like for this movie to kind of stick to be its own thing and not really dive too much into like the nostalgia stuff. Yeah.
Don't bring back like in this trilogy. You don't need to bring back OGs or anything because I feel like their stories were tied off and done. Yeah, a lot of people weren't happy with the way Dr. Grant and Ellie Sattler went away from each other, and then Dominion and brought them back together again.
That's the one thing that we got out of that.
Yeah, that's the one thing we got. So that was a good finish to their story. I was glad to see that.
Yeah, I think you said it best. Where like they could totally have like Loomis mentioning that he knows Dr. Grant, or he wants to make him proud, or we we see like Malcolm's book on a desk somewhere in the background. There's plenty of ways you could have little Easter eggs in like that without it being overt.
Yeah, like another thought I had too was all the fossils and stuff in that museum came from Dr. Grant's site.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah, of course we'll see Ian Malcolm's books and stuff, and keep Dr. Wu out. Yeah,
that is another wild card. I forgot that he's alive.
Yeah.
You know what? Now that you're saying that, I'm a little nervous because I feel like that he would be one of the characters that would actually make sense with the narrative to bring back. Although I agree, I probably don't want to see him because I like Dr. Wu. I like the actor for Dr. Wu. He's one of the longest mainstays of the franchise by this point. But I think that we've gotten enough of his character, even in Camp Cretaceous, to kind of round him off. And then by the end of Dominion, he's kind of like, I've cured the bugs. I'm at peace now. I'm done messing around.
Yeah,
but
he's righting
I would
his
not be
wrongs.
surprised if he gets mentioned in this movie in the context of him working at this facility, helping to do a lot of the stuff in the past, because we know he made the Scorpius Rex. So him making this dinosaur wouldn't be too far fetched either.
No, and like it's a good callback, but of course, it's kind of getting the focus on these characters coming in and stuff, and like, but having these callbacks of all these connections and stuff, and like they finish off all their stories right there. That was the end. That was the end of the old and the beginning of the new. Right there, because that's where we're starting out now. We're within a new era of the Jurassic series. So
we talked about this before a little bit about, are we going to see Rexy? And the thing with Rexy is, I do not want to see Rexy unless we are seeing her death. And I know that may seem a little dramatic, but she has lived way longer than she should. There were plenty, if they wanted to kill her, there were plenty of opportunities to do so in like some of the fights and stuff, but they keep bringing her back. And that makes me a little nervous for the fact that I would not be surprised if like we open this movie by seeing like a Rexy scene or something like that, like in a modern context, like kind of like the end of Fallen Kingdom, where you had Rexy step into the lion enclosure maybe as we're opening this movie, we're kind of picking up with this is what's going on in the world. These are where some of the dinosaurs are, and who would be better to show than the dinosaur that is the icon of the franchise? But maybe they're talking about it in the context of like it's like a news broadcast talking about the dinosaurs are dying out, the dinosaurs that we're kind of used to them. They're not really too crazy anymore, and we get to see like some news banner or something. Like it's not even directly on screen, but we see like a news broadcast talking about like the last great dinosaur of Jurassic Park laid to rest or something like that. Something that could be cool or nice in the background, not putting too much focus on it. But I do not want to see Rexy doing something crazy in this movie.
Yeah.
Like she's done for the last 6.
And like I know Rexy's still in that biosyn enclosure area.
Yeah.
Because that's where all the dinosaurs that were able to get captured. So I'm wondering if they're still pretty much up there, and that's their end story. There's like some dinosaurs out there, but that's their end story. That's where Rexy is. Rexy's rolling over that habitat area.
I would not mind that at all. If they just say like there's still the dinosaurs here, but there's only a few here, and nobody's allowed to mess with them. Cool,
yeah,
just leave them be.
Isn't Dr. Wu looking over that too? I think he's watching over that.
He may be. Honestly, I don't even remember the end of Dominion with that, but I will take your word for that. I wouldn't be surprised if he is.
Yeah, so it's crazy just to see like where this is new. Like this whole thing right here, it looks like it's the facility.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that when this shot first came up.
Yeah, it looks like it's a facility or like a rail station. Like that's what we're seeing, these rail stations.
That is a pretty sizable location though.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the scene in Camp Cretaceous, how they have like the rail across the island and stuff. It's kind of reminds me of that.
That could be the facility where they're running inside of, that we see that scene later.
Like this could be like a beginning scene where they're gonna kind of get us with the beginning of the research and stuff. This is what it looked like. Now this is what it has become.
Yeah. You know what? That's a pretty good theory where we may get a series of shots like in the past where this place was at its prime, and that's where we see that scene with it in containment, and we kind of end off with kind of like a scene where it's showing that like this place shit hit the fan and they had to shut this place down and get out of here, and then we'll jump back to the modern times as we set up our characters.
Wonder if that raptor here, I wonder if this is what they let out.
Yeah, because we talked about this again before. This looks way too new.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a mistake made by the people designing the set. I think it's pretty intentional that there's newer equipment in this old facility. Beautiful shot there.
Yeah, this is just like all this is beautiful. As long as too, they are actually in like an island whenever they're filming this. That'll help. This isn't just CGI. Like you can kind of see a lot of that stuff over there. Looks more island-esque. I don't know where they filmed this at. The look on it, he's like, uh-oh, I didn't want to deal with this. At first, I thought that guy hanging there was done for. Whenever they landed here, but then whenever I saw him just kind of land here and just walking, like, hey yo, get out of here, yeah.
So apparently, this was shot in Thailand.
Thailand. Okay.
Because I don't think this is the California shot, because they shot in California too.
Yeah,
I don't think this is California.
California is probably all the beginning. San Diego, we're back in San Diego.
Maybe some of those bay. Actually, the shot in the bay, I think they did that in California because they have that where we see all the Spinos and the Mosasaurs. The actual area where they shoot that is like this massive, like entire reservoir of diving tanks that are meant to be filmed in.
So here's something too I have a question for. So Henry here, he's just the curator of a museum, right?
So Henry is based off what they've released. All they said is he is a scientist at a museum that's closing down their dinosaur exhibit.
Okay. So yeah, I wasn't sure. Like, I'm like, why is this guy carrying this stuff around? Why is he doing this?
He's a scientist who has a passion for dinosaurs, and I guess they cut the guy. the what's his name? Martin Krebs, Rupert Friend, like the bad guy character. Martin goes to him and is like, "Okay, we need you to do this, and Scarlett's going to be your guide or your protector."
Another thing I just thought of: what if this is a whole you can't judge a book by its cover thing, and it's going to turn out to be somebody that we think is actually not a we think's a hero, but is actually not a hero.
I think it would that then it might be ScarJo. I mean,
yeah,
she'd be the one. I think he's too not stupid, but he's too innocent to Dr. Loomis is just kind of like the nerdy guy that's like I'm not cut out for this shit.
Yes. It's definitely going to be like that's the only thing that we like. They've talked about if we're bringing back, they're bringing something to the book from the book to the movies. That's one scene that they've always talked about because they wanted to bring it back in the original. They've always wanted to bring it back, but they couldn't.
It's forget homage. They're ripping it straight out.
Oh yeah,
everything about the scene, the Dilo, the diving in the water, the sleeping Rex.
Yeah,
all of it.
Let's see where is it. Right back here, huh?
Wherever it shows the Dilo, then it goes into it. I think it's about to come up.
Yeah, right here.
Yep.
Yeah. So along with the sleeping T-Rex plus the Dilo, and I guarantee this Dilo spits boink right onto the T-Rex, and that's whenever the T-Rex wakes up and the guy's like, uh-oh.
Or like I could imagine this scene playing out where imagine it is the adult and that thing starts running at her and she runs down the dock, or she runs towards that building behind her, and then as she runs there, that's when you get the Rex to pop his head out.
Yep, that's whenever, because you see this outline perfectly.
Yep.
Right here's the nose, head, goes into the back, goes the whole way down here. Yeah, this is definitely right out of it. And I love that iconic. We better hear the iconic, like the hoot. Like here is where it probably gets spit on. I wonder
from that angle. Can you go right back to that scene where she was just standing there a second ago? Because I'm looking at the grass, like where it might be poking its head out.
Right here.
Okay, so it actually looks like she may not even move too far. It may just pick its head up and look right at her from there.
Yeah,
because it looks like it's coming right through the middle of where that tree is on the left and where the bushes are on the right.
Yeah, anytime I see, whenever I see that, I'm like, hey, yeah. Because like,
yep.
Yeah, I'm wondering if like we won't be able to see it because I know in the book the spit is actually spit. It doesn't look like tar. It's actually saliva. So in this, I don't know if we'll be able to actually see where it got spit on, but.
Oh yeah, imagine that. Like it's pissed off because it gets fucking hit by the venom or the acid.
Yeah, it's like I'm just trying to sleep, yo. Yeah, like right here is following that same. At first, I thought maybe the T-Rex was getting up and getting a drink here.
Yeah,
that's what it kind of looks like. But then it's like, hey.
And so there is what we think to be the father character.
Yeah. And if you go, okay, let's see here. Head back real quick. Right here. Shirt. Remember that shirt? You go towards
the same bathing suit looking apparel as he is on the boat with his daughter.
Yep. Right here. So it's good to see at least the fan, but it doesn't look like the whole family survives. Because some of the people I don't
know if we see the mother in this scene.
Yeah. The mother was there.
There's the daughter.
Yeah. I think that's still the daughter there.
Yeah, still the daughter.
There's Scar. Oh yeah, ScarJo's up there. Looks like ScarJo up there, right?
Yeah.
She gets knocked over. I wonder if she gets. This is where everybody starts getting knocked in. How will they explain children getting onto the island again?
So, you want to take that one? Or?
So one of the thoughts that I've had was that they've been on this island, and it connects also with Sage's thought about this being a biosyn was there as well. So they came earlier with the more. Let's go back. Right, what is it? I get to Okay, let's
Yeah.
go right here. So what I'm thinking is if it gets that scene, come on, ay. Right here.
Yeah, it's like a brief second.
Yeah, right here. So this is the whole research team that went there after probably Engine, or this could be during Engine's time.
Mhm.
And if it's during Engine's time, but it wouldn't make sense. But if they went with Biosyn going to this place, we think that, or at least I think that the family has been here for a bit.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I'd probably say the family is either ignorant to the island, like they don't know there's dinosaurs on it, and they just think it's some like nice vacation island. That I think that's probably the safest bet. That it's just a family who is chilling on their own. They probably have a small boat, or they had like a little plane they flew in or something. Because it's just from the looks of it, the father, the mother, and the daughter, and we see a few other people, but I don't think I think that they're part of the crew because they look like they're set to be in the wilderness. Versus the family are all wearing bathing suits, and although the mother, she kind of looks like she's wearing a little bit more tattered. That woman right there, I think that's the one that gets knocked over by the Spinos over the side where she's
Okay.
grabbing on. I think that's her.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think the children and the family, they're totally unrelated from all of this, and they're just going to the island because they think that it's an island they can go and have a vacation on, and that's why they're wearing bathing suits, and they're totally oblivious to this situation. But again, a little bit later on, when we do see the mother, I can't remember what she's wearing because it looks like the husband's wearing a bit of a bathing suit. But I can't remember what the mother's wearing in front of the T-Rex.
No, that
There you
makes
go. There's the other. There's the Velociraptor. That Velociraptor tube looks newer too.
Yeah, everything's newer there. So because there's no way all that stuff is like 1993.
Oh, yeah, I mean the InGen logo is literally peeling off the wall. So
yeah, and meanwhile all that stuff's fresh. So maybe even Engine did try to go back there to see what they could figure out.
yeah.
So
we have InGen, Biosyn, and Manticore. We have 3 cloning operations that could have come into this place between the 90s and now. And we know that the public knows about this island. It's not like this island is a secret.
All right, you want to know what the look-alike for these Quetzalcoatlus is?
What?
Toucan Sam.
You know, with that big old beak, it's thicker now. It's like it's got that thickness towards the middle. I could see it. Oh, and like the blue on the head too.
It's the Fruit Loops.
A little bit of a smile as he's coming in.
Yep. It's like, hey, this is my baby. Get out of here. I tell you what.
I saw some people complaining like, "Oh, ScarJo is not going to be strong enough to hold him up." All right, I mean, I think that's a little bit of a nitpick there. That's not too crazy for me.
Yeah, you don't know like some highly trained people can do this.
Oh yeah, and she's not a flimsy.
Yeah, like this guy here, I don't know. I know that he's related to the family here, or
yeah, you know,
so
that's another possible family member. Because he does not look like he's part of the crew. This guy again looks like he's a lot more jittery, and he's just kind of there to try to get out of there with them, compared to the rest of them who are definitely a bit more composed.
Yeah, and all of them, they seem like they're not like completely familiar with some of the dinosaurs. There's that guy too there, so I'm assuming.
So you see his shirt, so that's obviously the little girl, but you have the guy a second ago that we just saw in his shirt. It looked like his shirt was kind of like beachwear too, almost. Yeah, he's got like an open button down shirt on. That's like something you'd wear down to the beach. So
yeah, so they've been here probably, I'm thinking, probably about a week.
Yeah,
so
the question is, do they know about the dinosaurs, and have they been trying to like escape and get off the island, or did their vacation just hit the fan?
Because yeah, like you can see like some of the difference with like how a lot of these other ones they're a little bit cleaner. They all look like they've been through a lot. So here, like, yeah, this is all part of this, but like this is another thing. Like, They're escaping through this. So what if this is explaining like their style, what happens with them? So this is that recent thing that kind of goes
Or
with.
then maybe they're fleeing into this facility from the creature, and then that scene we see of it inside there is like they try to trap it, or it follows them in there.
Yeah.
Right here. There you go.
And that would suck.
like again, we're not going to be able to really put the pieces together until we know who the people are in this scene. But if it's, I really like your idea of the flashback. But if it's not the flashback, if I had to guess, I would say there's only two options here. Either they go in here not knowing what's in here, and then they realize this thing is in there with them, and then he gets locked in as he's trying to run out, and then the guy is kind of like, sorry, man, I'm not opening the door. And that turns out to be the Rupert's friend character, who's kind of like the villain. Or the other scenario, which I kind of think is more likely. Honestly, I don't know. I don't want to say it's even more likely, but the other scenario I'm thinking is they are trying to trap this thing in here purposefully. And the person who's in there was the bait. And the person who locks him out is still, I think, would be Rupert's friend character, because this guy does not seem to care at all that this other person's about to die. I'm guessing that he locks him in the air with him on purpose. But again, the size is the one thing that is bringing me back to the possible flashback, because this thing does look smaller unless it's really crouched down in this scene.
I've never seen Death Note.
Death Note
Yeah, Death Note monster.
You know what?
You
know what? Now that you're saying that, I can kind of see it. Not definitely not the thickness of it, because the Death Note monsters are kind of like these skinny demon-looking creatures, but in the face, I can see what you're talking about, and like the long arms, the way the arms hang down like that. I'm not a big anime fan. I've watched literally 3 animes ever. I've watched Death Note, Hunter x Hunter, and then there was this other one, which was like this high school anime I completely forgot about. But Death Note is one of like the most popular animes. That's like these people who get these journals, which is a death note, and then if you write someone's name in the death note, they will die, and it's literally Death Note. And there's these monster creatures that only the person who has the book can see. And so what he's saying is they kind of look like those monster creatures, and they do have like these really sunken demonic looking faces, and they have these hands that kind of hang over them as they float. So I could see what he's talking about there.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, like I've seen like bits and pieces of that, but I can't put a face to the Death Note monster. Yeah. So here's a thing too I will say about children and islands, and like the first Jurassic Park, they were there because hey, Hammond wanted to appeal to the #1 audience was children.
Yep.
So that's why they ended up there. Kelly, she just helped herself to, hey, I'm gonna go here. I'm not gonna listen to you, and I'm gonna just go here. The third one is the one where I kind of like, why are you bringing this kid to a dinosaur island? Like, I get, oh yeah, we don't know why. You're like, that's where it kind of like, oh, it kind of steps off a little bit. You're like, why?
Worst stepdad of all time.
Yeah, worst stepdad, and the Kirbys are the worst parents of all time too. The Kirbys are the worst parents. Yeah, they lock them up.
Kidnapping, child endangerment.
Yep. Jurassic World. Of course, the theme park was open, so
yeah,
that's how you get kids there. Same way.
Fallen Kingdom is a clone kid.
Yeah, and she had no choice. She had no idea what was going on until they decided, hey, let's keep these clone dinosaurs down here, and there's a clone little girl up there.
Yeah.
And then
did Dominion really even do anything with her? I can't even remember. Like, I know she was they were kind of going after her in the beginning, but
yeah, they went after her, and that's why they wanted to kind of capture her and bring her back because I think they wanted to figure out how to clone humans too. So
yeah.
Why they took her. So,
I'm glad they're hopefully stepping away from that.
Yeah, that I was kind of like, oh no, like I don't want to see them cloning. Like you'll start seeing armies. They're gonna start pulling spoilers real quick if you haven't seen all the Resident Evil movies. But let's clone to bring back dead characters. So we see
the human
freaking
clone army versus the dinosaurs.
we see Ray Arnold come back. We see Dennis
Oh my
Nedry come
God.
back.
See, just imagine seeing Samuel L. Jackson though just come back to the Jurassic franchise
Yeah.
with like a bionic arm.
Yep, I'm back, mother.
Oh my God.
Oh,
But
Muldoon clone. Okay, that's our exception right there. Bring back Robert Muldoon.
Muldoon clone. Hey, Muldoon. Hey, we didn't see him. We didn't see what happened on
Yeah.
screen. All we saw was him get pounced on. So
He could have grabbed like a big Bowie knife.
clever girl.
A clever girl, but I'm more clever. I knew you were gonna pounce on me. That other one was just watching, even though you heard a little bit of screams there, but that's not confirmed.
Muldoon set the bar very high though, in terms of like the trapper, game warden type character.
Yep. And then Roland Tembo just like carried that.
Yeah.
Like
perfectly separate characters who filled their role, like a similar role, but took it in completely different directions. Go ahead.
Yeah, whenever I was a kid, I actually thought they were the same character. Because I'm like, are these the same character?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, because the way that they're like introduced and portrayed, like the just the chill guy with the rifle that's sticking to himself, that kind of knows about everything, but they really do have a winning recipe with this, I think.
Yeah. So if they can carry what they're talking about, and they keep with it, they're gonna do a good job.
Yeah, and I'm pretty optimistic because the fact that Dominion was received as negatively as it was, but it still made money, and that shows you that the casual audience is still there, even if they were disappointed. So the hardcore Jurassic fans, I haven't seen anyone that's upset about this trailer so far. Pretty sure like all the Jurassic fans I'm seeing are loving what they see. So if that is where we're starting, I think that this movie is it has to try hard now to fumble the attention that they've drawn for themselves. People will be looking forward to this.
Yep, I agree wholeheartedly with that, because
look at that thing.
Yeah, this thing is a behemoth. This thing is definitely not fitting inside of that little cell.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely saying there's got to be a Packy in this thing.
Yep. Yeah, I was just about to say it again. I mean, look at that shiny dome.
Yeah, that shiny dome up there. It locks its what is it? It locks its neck in place, and then
oh yeah,
the 29% audience.
Yeah,
to make
don't get me wrong. I'm not making an argument at all that it's a good movie. I'm just saying people still saw it, and it did. What did it end up making?
I can't. I will say that I still liked Dominion. It wasn't one of those ones where I got like on this, but like I still like Dominion. It's not my favorite of all. Yes. Check that out.
It made just over $1 billion.
Yeah, so just over $1 billion. And what was it like what was the budget on that?
The budget was $265.
Oh, so it's still $265. Wow, it's still made.
Yeah.
So my brother here, Friar Tuck, you mean? No, that's still perfect. It's that's it. That's the name. It's Friar Tuck.
Yeah. Tuckosaurus.
We're gonna patent it, and now we're gonna sell it. The Tuckosaurus, the Friar Tuckosaurus. Yes.
Oh, but Dominion. If we're going based off the numbers, and I was a little bit generous with it, it still made close to $350 million. So
yeah, it's still carried. Like that trilogy still carried. Each and every one still carried the fans over, and it wasn't okay. I'm done. Like up until Dominion, I saw more of the negative feedback to Dominion than I did any of them. Like each and every one, people still found something. Like, of course, like you had like, okay, we didn't like the fact that they spent like 2 seconds on Isla Nublar and then we're back to the mainland, and now there's dinosaurs everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
Like the first two in the sequel movies for the Jurassic trilogy, they definitely, like, they, of course they had their issues, but it was not to the same extent that people really just did not like Dominion, for the fact that it just, the story and the focus was not at all where it needed to be.
Mm.
Whereas in the first two, they had a story they wanted to tell and they told them. It was just some of the executions that a lot of people had a problem with. Like you said, the amount of time they spent on the island, or some of the tone of the movie, or some of the lack of focus on the dinosaurs, and too much with like the auction and the hybrid and all this other stuff. But this one, I mean, we're getting a lot of dinosaurs, and there's plenty more dinosaurs that have not been shown. I mean, there's a whole plethora of rumored dinosaurs to appear in this movie. There's like over 15 dinosaurs rumored, and we only saw like 6 of them.
Mm. Did you guys think of the
65.
movie 65?
You know what? If you know what, you should pull up the dinosaur from 65 right now, because it looks pretty similar to this one. 65 was the movie with Adam Driver.
Okay.
I did actually watch it last year. I don't think it was that good of a movie. It flopped massively at the box office, but the dinosaur scenes were cool. I mean, the dinosaurs were cool, but it definitely wasn't really serious. It was definitely a little bit played up, over stylized, like a shooter dinosaur adventure where he was protecting the little girl that he kind of viewed as his daughter. That's the dinosaur right there at the end that shows up, where it's kind of like a T-Rex that walks on 4 legs.
Mm.
And it does really look similar. That's after he kills 2 regular T-Rexes, and then this thing shows up and walks into the clearing. And Adam Driver's like, "You got to be fucking kidding me!" Because I just wasted all my ammo killing 2 raging T-Rexes.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
And then he's able to kill this thing by luring it out to these geyser pits, and it gets like blown up by the hot water geyser. But it was a pretty cool looking dinosaur. It looked very similar to like a T-Rex, except it walked on the 4 legs. If you go for it later in the clip, it shows it in the daylight, so you could actually see it in detail.
This thing looks like 1998 Godzilla.
Yeah, the head 100%. There's a little girl. So I can't even remember the exact plot, but I'm pretty sure like he goes to this planet to like see if it's viable for life or something, and and this girl, I guess she I can't remember if she's with her like father or someone that dies on the island, and he starts or the planet, he starts protecting her, and then they're like, they try to escape in the end. But you see in this fight scene, or no, it was actually in the fight scene with the T-Rexes, the little girl uses like a hologram to like project the image of Adam Driver's real life daughter, and the T-Rexes get distracted by it. And that gives him the chance to get away and kill him. But I mean, it could be it's a fun movie. It has its fun scenes for sure. The dinosaur scenes were entertaining, but again, I do think it, like, story wise, it was nothing special. They crashed there. He was transporting them. Yeah, again, I saw it like whenever it came out a few years ago, and didn't really think back on it. But
yeah, I've actually never seen this movie.
I wish it did better though, because Adam Driver, I wish he has a little bit more success in his career, because this movie was. I remember the trailers were playing it up for a while, and I was like, "Oh, dinosaurs and Adam Driver, I'm ready for this." And then people really did not like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty cool creature design there. You can definitely see the inspiration for what we're getting in Jurassic, possibly from this. Although the Jurassic movie was probably in production. I can't remember when this came out. Well, let me see when this came out. When did 65? This was actually, so Dominion was already, the Rebirth was being worked on when this came out. So I can't even really say that they took inspiration from this. They might have, but definitely different enough with like the iguanodon knuckles on our guy.
Oh yeah. I've never seen this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a Ariana Greenblatt. Is that the Ahsoka?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Now that I never even put those pieces together because I saw this before that, so that's pretty cool actually.
Yeah, I'm liking that. I love
I think it's
Jurassic.
on Netflix. Yeah,
Yeah, is it? Oh,
it's not too long either. So
yeah. I'll have to check it out sometime. I've been getting the itch since this came out to do another Jurassic Park watch
well, okay.
party.
So what did you? So do you have a? What did you download that to play on? Were you
Oh,
playing that on your Xbox or were you playing on a PC?
I was doing that on PC, so that was
Okay.
through. Let me see if I can get it. Here we go. This.
Okay.
So then you have to, like, what I did is I went through. I think it's emulation.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
because I'm probably gonna be doing this on a MacBook, so I'm probably gonna have to do the PS3 version because they don't have 360 for Mac.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So here it is right here. PS3
Yeah.
version.
I can't.
So,
Was that Jurassic Park game Xbox exclusive though? I feel like it was.
it might. Let's see here. I didn't
It
get to
might have
look on
been.
PS3.
Let's see. Jurassic Park.
Jurassic. Yeah, I don't see it on here. Oh wait,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I don't see it. I just see Jurassic the Hunted.
Oh, that was I played that on the Wii when I was little.
The Hunted. Yeah, this is where I found it, and that's how I'm able to. I went right over here, and
I'm still gonna do this regardless. You know what? I'm gonna hook up my other computer just to do this.
right there. Yep, Jurassic Park the game right there.
Awesome.
Yeah, that
Oh, and
guy.
you could just play it right off the site like this, or do you
Yeah.
have to download it?
What you'll do is you would have to download the Xbox 360, which I use.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
so and then you download it into the emulator, and then you
Yep.
can run it through there.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep, that's how I do it. Yeah, it's here. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. I will play it
Isn't
tonight.
there a Jurassic Park survival horror game in the works? Yes, that is dropping
Mhm.
this year.
Yeah, I cannot wait.
I don't think there's an official release date on it, but I would not be surprised if it drops before the movie or around the time of the movie.
Find it. Find it. Mm.
Well, it says 2025 at the earliest. There's no news on it, but I was actually like every couple of weeks, just for shits and giggles, I go on my Xbox and I look up Jurassic Park just to see if they do add it as backwards compatibility, see if they will do it one day. And the Jurassic Park survival game came up on it. So if you have an Xbox and you look up Jurassic Park on it, it shows you the game that's coming out later this year. It's Jurassic Park Survival.
Hmm.
Oh my God, look at that. That's awesome. I was actually, just before I hopped in here with you a couple hours ago, I was watching your stream from a little while ago when you were playing.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get back to this probably maybe this weekend.
Yeah. Man, such a good game. I don't know why they don't bring it back. They got all the other Telltale games on it. They've got the Walking Dead ones that came out before this, but they can't bring this put on.
Yeah, they got blacklisted and because it dropped below 0 on Steam. I'm waiting for the roar. Hear the roar.
Hear the roar.
I know. It's better not be. Okay, cool. It's not broken. Well, I carried over. But yeah, this is gonna be my. I will finish that. You just see. Oh yeah, my button mashing. I'm getting better. I'm a little bit rusty, but I'm getting better because.
Oh my God, I remember being a little kid trying to play that game, and some of those button mashes are like specifically where you had to drag the thing into the circle and stuff like that. That would kill me as a kid.
Yep. Yeah. The last part of that, you're outrunning the Rex. And you have to, yeah, and you're sitting there. If you want to get gold, of course, you got to go through all the quick time events, and then you have to get to the long button mash, and you have to go crazy on this. I went crazy. Monroe, I don't know what your angle is. You have an angle all the time, Monroe. All right. Oh yeah. This game's mine. Like, as soon as I saw that I could do this, I'm like, yeah, because I was looking for it. I'm like, I need to play this game.
Yep.
Jurassic Park is like one of my like very popular videos on here. Like I've done, like whenever I did the Sega Genesis games. Woo,
Yeah, I remember we were playing those classic games.
yeah, like I think each one of those were up over 100. Like Jurassic
Nice.
Park is definitely where it's at.
Yeah, yeah, and especially now making content leading up to this movie.
Yep. Yeah, making content like right now is the best time to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
exactly,
more
it's
like it, Tim.
beautiful.
Yeah, that's more like it, Tim. You hacked Monroe. Oh, I knew it. Yeah, this is like I'm looking like Survivor's definitely gonna be up there. I know. I think on my Steam, what up it shouldn't give.
Yeah, it might pop up for you.
If it pops up. What are you doing, Steam? You're annoying me right now. There we go. You go to my library. I picked up The Isle.
Nice.
Yeah, I picked up that one. I haven't played it yet, though. There's
I have
another.
not played the Owl, but I've played Path of Titans
Okay.
a good bit.
What's that one? It's another survival. It's a dinosaur one.
Not
see,
Path of Titans.
No, this is something different. Let me see.
Not Ark.
This is an actual like. If I can find it, I can't remember what it's called. Wishlist it. I can't remember. Might have wishlisted it. Or oh, Dad, help me out. What's that one game that they were talking? It was a first person survival style game. Crap, what was it called?
Is it the one that I keep seeing people post like clips on TikTok and stuff on of like people running away from Spinosaurs and T-Rexes and Velociraptors and stuff?
It might be that one. It might be. I want to see. I thought I put it on my wish list.
It kind of looks like a
It is.
more updated version of Trespasser.
Ah, this one.
The Lost Wild.
Me.
Oh, I remember seeing the teaser trailer for this last year. I think Game and Beaver or someone else, like another one of those channels, broke it down. Is there like an Allosaur in this?
I think so. Yeah, I think it was an Allosaur. Like this was like everybody's answer. Like we want another survival dinosaur game.
Yep.
Look at that.
Yeah.
There's Yellow. That looks like it's gonna be crazy too. Turn the light off. Turn the light off.
Oh shit.
Woo. Actually, said now Steam, even though I don't think it's even out yet.
Yeah, I can't wait. I
Yeah.
mean, when these games start rolling out, that's when I may have to make the switch over to PC.
Yeah,
Full
yeah,
time.
PC. Yeah, I love PC. I can't go back. So yeah, this is
Hey,
another game.
at least I'll have Jurassic Park Survival this year.
This game has been yeah.
Yeah, I definitely remember seeing the trailer for this probably a couple years ago. So hopefully they're getting close to finishing this.
Yeah. And release is to be announced.
It is somewhat optimistic though, because a lot of times with some of these dinosaur games, it is just a lot of like rendered footage and not in-game footage. But in this trailer, we did see a pretty healthy amount of what I think looks to be in-game footage with like when the dinosaur's walking by with the light, and then when we see her picking up like the flares inside. So that is hopefully news that this is a bit further along than a lot of these other games that are just rendered clips.
It's a new one here. Can't get it to play though.
Yeah, like this does not look to be gameplay. This is maybe.
Yeah.
That might be. That looks like it's from the character's perspective watching something.
Oh, there's dial. Oh,
Wow.
there's not in
This is gameplay. Okay.
yeah.
More gameplay. Yeah, so if they have all this, then I mean, it probably wouldn't be too crazy to say this will probably release within the next year or two.
Yeah, we're getting close.
Oh, and it has like indication markers and all that. So yeah,
That's good. Yeah, it's gonna be.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, dinosaurs need more love.
And that's Steam only. That's not going to come to console, right?
It probably will eventually. Usually they'll start. Usually the indie ones will start off kind of. Let's see how they do.
Yeah, Path of Titans wasn't on console for a long time.
I think that one, the Forest. I think the Forest just made it to consoles, if I'm not mistaken. My brother would be the expert on that. And they've had a few, like 7 Days to Die is another one that started off on PC and then it went to console, didn't work out, and they finally were able to get it to port.
I'm definitely going to be going and downloading this like right after I'm done.
Yeah,
I gotta start emulating these games.
Definitely. Yeah, because like whenever I played, go ahead and pull this back over. Just where I'm at. Okay. Yeah, whenever I first started playing it brought back all the good feels. And this and this. Oh, no, don't move over there. But yeah. Oh, right there. Oh, here. Hey, you get down from there. Get down.
We got a visitor.
Yeah, he's trying to tear down my Babu. He did it once before.
Hey.
Yeah. I came home and he knocked down my Babu frick.
Oh no. Not the holy Babu.
Can't do that to me. So, he always makes a surprise, but my cat's never done that before. He wants food. Ready?
I think we did a pretty good job.
Oh yeah.
Covering everything we got in this trailer.
Yeah, and like that was like in depth. I love Jurassic Park. It's like I even hold Jurassic Park to me over like Star Wars or anything like that because it's the first thing I think of was whenever I was a kid.
Yeah.
So
honestly, I'm probably gonna have to I had to think about it for a second because a lot of these are pretty close for me. But if I had to, people have asked me the question before, like, what's your favorite movie of all time? And my answer is always before any of the Star Wars, any of this other stuff. I'm always thinking Jurassic Park. So, and I mean, even like, I feel like this is kind of like everybody who likes Jurassic Park. For most people, we like dinosaurs when we're little, and Jurassic Park is just naturally the avenue you find yourself falling into, like the Planet Dinosaurs, Dinotopia, all that type of stuff. But Land Before Time, all of it. But Jurassic Park was just always from when I was little. I've always remembered and always going back to that original movie, and I can just remember like the early 2000s, 2010s, like all the speculation of like Jurassic Park 4, is it going to be like the Suchomimus design instead of the T-Rex and all this stuff? They're the human dinosaur hybrids. It's just been like a franchise that really has persisted among all these other ones, and to see it kind of falter in the last few years and to come back in this method, I couldn't be happier.
Yep, come back in this method, and that gets. I feel that from what I've seen with that trailer there, it's definitely we're getting it back. We're back.
Yeah. And again, we're not trying to be too over the top with this because it is very early. We don't know everything yet, but from what we do see and what we know and what they're saying, what they're giving to us, it seems like a very good recipe, especially knowing David Kep and all these other people who have been with the franchise for so long have their hands in the mix.
Yep. Yep. And honestly, I'm really glad to see Edwards in here too. I did like the Monsterverse.
Yeah,
and it's gonna give that creature feel plus the aesthetic, the the aesthetic of the series and what we need. And this isn't just let's just slap it into these different areas. Like Dominion was more of a I did like whenever it came out, I do remember calling it this. It reminded me of like Fast and Furious with dinosaurs.
Yeah, it was like a roller coaster adventure.
Yeah, and like they wanted a lot of practical effects and stuff, and like, and don't get me wrong, I like the movie myself personally, but like yes, I can see I can see some gripes to it, and I can also see some good that came out of it as well. So
oh yeah,
yeah, it's definitely this aesthetic though alone is different, and I'm glad it was brought. Like they brought Edwards. Whenever I heard Edwards from doing it wasn't only just Godzilla. I forget what the other ones that he did too. He Dino Horror to come back. Yeah, the Carnosaur.
Yeah, the creator, Rogue One.
Rogue One, yeah, that's what it was. Creator of Rogue One. That's where I was like, oh, this is really gonna be like somebody that knows what people love, and he's gonna follow that through. So I'm hoping. Like I'm not.
That's what was so good about the Godzilla 2014 was that he really puts you in the environment of like, now this is a creature here that is not from this world, and I feel like he'll be perfectly equipped to not only, and I think from what we see, like when they're revealing the hybrid, we kind of hear like the noise it's making as like the music cuts out. It kind of reminded me of, I don't know if you've ever seen like the videos that like people put out on YouTube a couple years ago. It's just like random people of like what the T-Rex actually sounded like, and it's like this. It's not like the roar. It's like these clicking noises and like the guttural noise, and it's kind of like pretty creepy. That's what it kind of reminded me of when I started hearing this thing, and I'm like, that's Gareth Edwards' specialty, like the Mutos from Godzilla, those creatures with the clicking and all that stuff. It's gonna be very cool to see the creature design, specifically with like all these dinosaurs and how they sound with him.
Yep. Yeah, and like that iconic charge up theme from Godzilla, you're just like, oh yeah, here it comes. And then you hear the roar with that. Oh yeah. They pick it. I feel they pick it. I'm like, I'm of course, we don't know this. We don't know how good this is, but from what this looks like and who they have behind this, I have faith.
Yep.
I have faith. Too. So he has a great track record for sure, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And, need Dino Horror to come back. Yep. Great track record. Yeah, that's the thing. Like they're matching a proven writer with a director that fits the genre they're trying to go for. So that's why we keep saying this so many times. It's they made the right decisions for this movie to work out. So, and that's something that outside of Jurassic, a lot of these other franchises have not been doing. They've messed up with the writer, they messed up with the director. Here we get a director that fits the genre, and we get a writer that's proven to fit perfectly with the franchise. So unless they really royally screw it up, I think the worst we can get is okay. I think that's the worst we can get.
Yep. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, and that's how I felt with Dominion. Like to a lot of people, like it was okay.
Yeah. It wasn't even that. Even though I really didn't like Dominion, it wasn't like I thought it was bad. I just thought it was, the reason I didn't like it was because I was expecting the human legacy characters to have more to do. I was expecting the plot to focus on the dinosaurs and not like this locust disease. But my issue with the movie, I still think the movie looks good. I think the dinosaurs look good. I like all of the characters that are in it. It's just that I don't like what they all chose to do with the characters. But the movie itself, it wasn't like it was a bad movie. I didn't hate the movie. So it's not like they're the stepping stone they have to jump off from is too low on the ground to begin with.
Yeah. It's That's 100% right there.
Mhm.
And from this, like, most people want to argue, because I remember the arguments with the original three. The big argument was it's the same thing over and over again. They are trapped on an island. They run from dinosaurs, and like, yeah, that was a horror that everybody grew up and loved on Jurassic Park. So they're gonna bring it back, but I feel like they're doing their own thing with this, and they wanted to try to go, hey, let's try to go away from that. Well, they went away from it, and it didn't hit as well with a lot of the fandom. So now it's hitting, like, it's back. Like, I don't see anybody like, oh, I have a sour taste about this. So it's like,
oh, back to the island.
yeah,
Here
here we
people
go.
are like, yes, we're going back to the island.
We're going to a more isolated, and it's brings back like a almost claustrophobic, and you're like, where are we gonna go? There's dinosaurs all over this island. So
Yep.
yeah, but
we're in for a treat.
oh yeah, definitely. July 2nd.
Yeah, and this is not the last we're gonna get. We're probably gonna get longer trailers, more teasers, probably a couple like clips and TV spots. So there will be plenty more to talk about with this.
Yep, just as long as they don't spoil the whole movie for us in these, and
Yes,
we pretty much
please,
finished.
please
Yeah,
do not do that.
yeah, keep it very cryptic, please.
Yeah,
Like
do not tease any death scenes. Like
yeah,
a perfect example I'll say is literally Transformers: Rise of the Beast that came out 2023. In the trail, one of the significant trailers to come out weeks before the movie, they literally show a character dying. They show Optimus Prime. There's only 3 bad guys in the movie. There's 3 of like the main bad guys, and they show in the trailer Optimus Prime cutting his arm off, cutting his leg off, and then raising up, and then it cuts away. So it's pretty obvious what's about to happen. I don't think that, and to put that in the Jurassic context, we've seen some scenes of like people falling over the edge and stuff like that, but we don't know. It doesn't make it look like they're about to die. It's just like a tense scene. Whereas they could definitely, I'm pretty sure in Dominion they were kind of revealing a lot. Like they showed a lot of like the plane scene, the crash scene with the Pyroraptor, and they kind of gave away like all of that because the Pyroraptor scene wasn't too long, and they pretty much showed you a good bit of it to get into it. Like the plane crash, here's the Pyroraptor, you know they're gonna escape. So I'm hoping that if the trailer is just more of like what we got, where it's just teases of different moments without letting us linger in the moments, I think that's great.
Yeah, and like everything we did here was just speculation. This wasn't spoilers for anything. It's just like, this is what we're doing. Yeah. I don't know how many times we've probably come up with different theories in a lot of the meetings that we've done and stuff, and they've all been wrong. Like,
no, 100%.
Yeah, so this is just, as long as they can exceed our expectations, we're good. So
yep. And
yeah,
that's what the fun is. We get to speculate about this until the movie comes out.
Yep, speculate, and then afterwards, I'm definitely, after we see this, we'll have to do a another stream and do like
for sure.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah.
This has been a very fun discussion. I love talking Jurassic, and as being in the race side, obviously that's how we met each other. Really, it's awesome to see how so many of us have these other common interests with all that, and have been able to branch out from there.
Yep. And we've been on the side discussing so much about the Jurassic series and stuff. And no, I'm glad to have you, and I think thanks for being here as well. So yeah, this has been a really, really good time, and I'm looking forward to more of this. Like, just seeing like the viewer count and stuff in here, it's been piquing a lot of interest here, and people have been saying and checking. Like, I can't imagine what's changed while we've been doing this. The Jurassic series is
there will definitely be more to talk about, and if you ever want to do this again before the movie comes out, I'm more than down to talk about more Jurassic. But thank you, man.
Yeah, definitely. I'll have you. I'll have to have my brother hop in here too. We have like my younger brother. He lives and breathes on Jurassic World Evolution. So maybe we'll have like a nice Jurassic discussion with my brothers and stuff, and having you on here as well with them. Like, just picking at each other's brains. Like,
Yeah, that'd be dope. I
Yeah.
literally like Jurassic World Evolution. That's funny you say that because literally I probably haven't touched it in like a couple months. And then last night I just after the trailer and all the news and stuff, I made a new world and
Mm.
I'm going. And
Yep.
it's just that game is like as soon as you get into it, it'll take you a little while once you're planning everything out. But once you start building, it's like
Mm.
you go for hours. It's
Yep.
great game. And that we're supposed to get Jurassic World Evolution 3 before the movie comes out,
Ooh.
actually.
Yeah,
So
what I need, my brother's been trying to get me to do this is I critique his parks every time, and
nice.
it's great. So
Nice. Yeah.
I eventually I want to do that. Critique his stuff. Is he's gonna make it? I'm not making it. He's gonna make it, and I'm gonna sit there. And
Oh yeah, you could be
yeah.
very tedious with it. Like the amount of stuff they've added within the last couple games, with
Mm.
like the park benches and garbage cans. Now I'm like, this is what we wanted.
Yep.
They're making it
Yep.
just like Operation Genesis back in the day.
Mm. Yep. So yeah, I'm looking forward to more of that. We'll have to discuss. Yeah, we'll have to do this on like you said between when the release date is until what 2020, late 2025 or early 2025
Yeah, no,
for survival.
Oh, survival, not even a release date. That's
Not
just
even
it
release
just says
date, yeah.
2025. But I'm pretty sure I had seen someone talking about it, saying that they don't be surprised if it drops around the movie. So
Hmm.
that's where that news comes from.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward like that. Maybe there'll be some tie-ins here.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Especially because that takes place right after the original movie, so there's plenty of room to reference other stuff going on that could be brought up in this movie.
mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, so we got that. We got also, dang, we can do Jurassic Park, Lost World Jurassic Park. It's got all those discussions
Oh, you
individually.
can just go through the movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We got a lot of picking here. So yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, definitely. We'll be doing this again. We'll figure out a good time. I like these discussion streams.
Definitely.
Thanks again for being here.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
Yep, and we will definitely do this again. Look forward to a couch co-op stream Saturday, and I'm gonna try to do another Jurassic Park the game probably this Sunday. We'll see. It depends on times.
Yeah, and then maybe I'll see you at the Masters meeting if we have that one too.
Yeah, hopefully soon. I'm hoping to get back there soon. Eventually I will. But definitely, yeah. You want to plug your channel?
Sure. If you want to check me out, I pretty much just do Transformers content, Saj Productions. You can see SAJ Productions. Pretty easy to find. The rest of them are all like DJs in India and Pakistan, so it should be pretty easy to find the one that's about Transformers. So Saj Productions, a little picture of Starscream. I just do Transformers content, but I may have to start uploading some Jurassic Park because I'm just, but definitely the YouTube algorithm does not like that. So I may have to do that on a different channel, on my other channel. But if you want to check me out, I'm on Saj Productions, but I will probably and hopefully definitely be back here at some point talking some more Jurassic.
Definitely. We'll have you back. We'll have my older brother here.
Yeah.
And my younger brother. Yep. Get my younger,
Awesome.
so that way we can all spit our knowledge of the Jurassic series. So
oh yeah.
Thanks again, everybody. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Also go over to Saj's channel. Check him out. Like and subscribe over there. This has been a great stream.